Okay, sekejap eh. Okay, we wait few more minutes. So far is one, Reggie, then or maybe they forget that today I do it on Friday, on a Monday. Normally the class is Wednesday, right? Maybe they forget. Okay, I shared link. Alright, I shared link. And you guys can have a quick look first, and then after this I will terangkan. Alright, I will explain about it. Kita tunggu 5 minit lagi 6:45. Okay, so I think majority is there already, and then this session is recorded. Okay, since today is today is your last day of class for some of you, for Daniel, Walid, and Faiz, and then for Kesavan, almost last day of module 2, and then I think for Raj as well, and then for the others, I think Kin, Diana, and I think is the last day for module 2, and for Rizwan and Regine, I think the last day of module 1. I sometimes you ask, you hear me apa you hear me talking about it, but I just want to let you know in clear, right? So let's spend 1 hours, all right, or not even 1 hour, like 45 minutes for me to tell you, all right, about what's next for you guys, right? What's next for you guys, if you are interested, right? If you are interested. It's not selling. I'm not selling anything because I also don't get any money. All right, I'm also not charging anything. All right, it's just that at least the students, all right, for me, at least the students will get the certificate, all right, if they finish and everything. Right, I'm not charging anything. All right, so no, it's not unfortunately, right? It's not unfortunately, right? When you join our program, when we join the program in BAC, all right, by the end of the course, right? So some of you will get it soon. Some of you will have to wait for another 2 months, right? But normally you have module 1 certificate and you have your full stack certificate, right? So module 1 and full stack. That's module 1 certificate. What if people ask me, what is that module 1 certificate? Right, that module 1 certificate is a certificate. It's not a diploma. It's not a dear. What is equivalent to? Although it's for 6 months, it's a certificate. Right, certificate of attendance. Right, certificate of attendance. So you have your module 1 certificate, right, and then you have module 2 and module 3 certificate, right? So then if you go to interview or something, normally you will depends on your that certificate saying that, all right, I joined this class, right? Faiz just told me he went for interview and then that people saw my name. I think it's not the first time. I'm saying you just put my name there. I'm not saying that you might have a chance, but when you put, if you are in good relation, if you're in good relation with me, I'm not saying that. Nah, some of you, I'm not saying that there is nobody. All of us are in good relation, right? But let's say lah, right? Because sometimes also I have the office of the interns, and then some of the interns not very good relation. When you say not very good relations, I say, hey, why you come late? Sometimes I like, kenapa lambat? Kenapa kerja tak siap? Kenapa kerja tak siap? Kenapa ni? Dia report tak hantar and everything, right? So that's what it means, not good relation. So when it's not good relation, normally for students like that, it will be reflected on the marks, on their markah lah. Kat hujung kita, I will tell the supervisor, this student I want you. I never fail a student, but I will just put, kalau apa passing mark, alright, passing mark. So if the passing mark is 50, then apa 30, right? Then 30 over 50, then I put lah, alright, letak 30. Right, so that he has to work hard for the presentation. Normally kat university, right? So normally if you're in good relation, you put lah my name, right? You put some reference name. There might be a chance that we know each other, right? When we know each other, then they say like, hey, how this student and everything. So if you are good, normally I will say lah, right? Normally that's what I said to the guy as well. Normally I always say it is good, but the area of improvement is. I will always say like that. I will never say he's good. Because I takut bila cakap baik, when I oversell and then something happen, when he come, hey, you said this guy is good. No, normally I would say this guy is good, but improvement is blah blah blah, right? So that's how you do it. After this, you put a name on your resume. There might be a chance that the people know me and everything. I think last time also I shared with I shared with Ashraf previously, kan, but I think since then, so you, for example, kan, on LinkedIn, for example, if you look for Peoplelogy, all right. So in case you find Peoplelogy kat mana? Peoplelogy. Yeah, so Peoplelogy, historically, right? Peoplelogy has one student from us, right? From us there is one student. Peoplelogy group, Mason Niaga also, but Mason Niaga If you go there, be careful lah, because I heard that you really work like a developer. So these are some of the companies that previously hired our student, right? And then I tell you in advance, right? I tell you in advance. Don't. I know that even if you do 2 months or if you 6 months, right? If you do 2 months, you do 6 months. At the moment, can nevertheless you are doing less than people who go for diploma, or nevertheless, you're still doing less than people who go for diplomas, people who have to study on university, in university. When you go there, right? When you go there, they might say, hey, I'm not sure lah, you can or not. I'm not sure you can or not. Maybe, right? Maybe I take you as intern or apprentice first, right? Intern or apprentice first. If okay, then I continue. Right? If not okay, then bye bye lah, not bye bye lah. If it's okay, it's actually option of learning. So don't get discouraged by that. So for the first step, all right, so it's either you get a job, which is good, or you get an intern or apprenticeship first. After that, normally with that experience, then you can, they will either continue or they reapply. You have to go somewhere else, all right? Because there's this one student. Let's see. I'm always give names of my students who, well, you can share. Aiman. Now this guy, all right, this guy. So he just finished, right, after SPM, 2009 SPM. He go here, all right. He go to join like you guys, right, 2020, and then and then of course lah, he do Udemy and everything. And then after that, he joined Katsana, right? If for 6 months for interns, right? For interns. So when because I talked to Fukaha lah, which is CEO. Try lah this guy kan. See, right? Because the budak ni lepas SPM and everything kan. And they say okay, can send to me. So don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged to start from that ladder. Because you guys don't go university 2 tahun, right? You guys don't go university 2 tahun. Anyway, if people ask you to intern for 6 months, for 3 months, for 6 months, you still wins compared to person who go for 2 tahun, right? For a diploma or something. All right. So even if you have to start with that, so it's okay for me. It's okay. All right. So you just do that. All right. You look for jobs, right? You look for jobs, but at the same time, don't get discouraged if somebody offers you a position of an intern or apprentice. For me, all right, what is important is for you to know, because somebody asked me last weekend. I can't remember who asked me. Because when you have that kind of question, you ask back, right? You ask back. How many developers are there in the team? Right, you have to ask lah, right? Somebody ada sebenarnya. It's like, Amirul asked me last week when we were having class. You ask back, right? How many developers are there in the team? All right, so just make sure that you are not the only developers, because if you are there for learning, right? If you are there for learning purposes, if you are the only developer, so there is no point for you to join, right? So that's some of the questions lah. Do you have any questions, right? When you go for interview, normally they will ask, do you have any questions? So you ask how many developers are there. All right, and then from there also you have to know how many senior developers are there. All right. So this one is in there, but I think importantly, this one at least need to be 2. Needs to be at least 2. All right, at least 2. Why you want it to be at least 2? Because remember, the reason why you are there is for learning purposes. So if they say 1, all right, so it's actually, for me, it's a red flag, all right. I was talking to Amirul last week, and what will happen if that one person resign, right? Then all the developers will left by themselves, or all the junior developers. So I think if you are going to a company for learning purposes, so I think this is a 2 important questions, other than the salary and everything. Other than me, you need to know about the team as well, the team over there. So if it's how many developers are there, and then how many developers, we have 5-6 teams of developers. Maybe you want to know a little bit about the technology, right? What technology use? all right, to see that it's something that you have done before or not, right? And then how many developers are there? All right, for me, for the senior developers, at least two. All right, so that kalau if it says one, all right, if the answer is one, so what if the one developer resign, right? What if the one developer resign? So what will happen? All right, so all the juniors will terkontang kanting lah, will terkontang kanting. So that's in terms of interview and works, right? Interview and work. So after this, right? Boleh ke Regine, if you are interested, because mungkin some of you knowledge kan macam Regine, mungkin want knowledge digital marketing or something kan. So if you are interested, just ni lah, right? This is how you do it, right? And then from there, I want to talk to you about so you have that certificate, right? And then when you use that certificate together with your portfolio and your GitHub, I think one of the thing that when I got a CV, right, 1 out of 10 will put a GitHub link inside their CV. So inside your CV, make sure that you put GitHub link. And if possible, LinkedIn, right? If possible, LinkedIn link as well. All right. So 1 out of 10, all right, of the students, of the interns or of the job seekers, put GitHub link inside their CV. So if you put GitHub link, normally you have an advantage over the others. Okay. So that's the certificate, certificate kehadiran or something. Now I'm going to talk to you about the certificate that is recognized by the Department of Skills from Ministry of Pembangunan Manusia, Pembangunan Sumber Manusia, MOHR, Ministry of Human Resources, Pembangunan Sumber Manusia, which is called Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia. So to understand this, you need to know about the path, MQA, MQF, right? MQA, MQF path. Okay, so in Malaysia, all right, there are two paths. Right, when you want to do your diploma, degree or something, there are two paths available for you. Right, there are two paths available for you. One that is called the academic path, all right. Another one is called the TVET path, all right. So you have academic and TVET. So this one is ni lah. This one is ni lah. Academic is the one that you know in university lah, right? Is the one that you know in university, right? So certificate, diploma, advanced diploma, graduate diploma, bachelor degree, and everything, right? So this one is normally I always talk about level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8. Right? You always heard about 3, 4, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7. Level 6 because TVET stop with TVET. This is the one that you go to university, right? This is the one that students go to university. And then you have the other one which is called TVET path. All right. TVET path normally you start from level 3, level 4, level 5. Right? Level 3, level 4, level 5. This is the one that you heard in college vocational, right? Normally where you heard about it, college vocational, Giat Mara, college vocational, Giat Mara, KBS, right? KBS also have some a little bit, right? So that's normally the center that propose, right? Sijil kemahiran, and then sijil or diploma kemahiran, and then if you go to university, right, then normally they talk about the real diploma and the real degree. Not saying that it's not real lah. The diploma and degree that you know is actually from academic path, and then there's another sijil that's not a lot of people know is coming from the TVET path. All right. So how can you, because with whatever that you learn, right, you can actually transfer it into a TVET certificate. All right. So the difference is this one is given by MOHR, which is the link that I give, Department Skills Development. This one is actually given by MOHE, MOHE, which is human higher education under MQA. This one is by DSD. All right. So if you are interested, what I know is, it's not that I'm saying that you cannot do it. What I know is you can transform whatever that you have learned into this, right? Into at least a diploma, which is here. Right, but not immediate, not tomorrow. It's not tomorrow that you can transfer it. You need to understand that how do you transfer. So you don't need this, right? You are not going to transfer into a sigil anymore because the level is beyond sigil. You can transfer it into a diploma kemahiran Malaysia. Alright, so even diploma kemahiran also there are two level 4 and level 5. But in order for you to get level 5, you have to have level 4 first. So let's not talk about level 5, we just focus on level 4, right? So how do you do it? There are 3 ways for you to do it. Right, there are 3 ways for you to do it. The first one is through melalui latihan di institut yang diiktiraf. Alright, so from an institution. When I'm saying about institution, right? When I say about institution, it means that it means that you have to go to school back, right? Macam you masuk university. Alright, so if you want to transform it, it's like you go into a university back. Alright, so it's going to be 2 years, 2 to 3 years, 2 to 3 years. You go class every day, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And then once you finish, right, you ambil like exam and everything, then you will get the diploma kemahiran Malaysia. Alright, so that's number 1. In Malaysia, alright, 4 years. So this one, it's you have actually a lot of subject. Alright, you have a lot of subject. So the first link that I gave, right, this is the link that we saw just now. This is the second link, right? This is the second link that shows you all the SLAPB. Alright, when I say SLAPB, then it's this one. It's number 1. Melalui latihan di institut yang diiktiraf. Alright, melalui latihannya di institut yang diiktiraf. So you can look at the first link, right? You can look at it. So actually, it's a lot of subject, right? So you say, why got Pusat Latihan Teknikal Pro 2? Alright, Pusat Latihan Teknikal Pro 2 is to get something that's related to automotive. Alright, so you can have something related to automotive, manufacturing. I think even like sales also have, right? So they offer for sales, right? They offer for automotive, everything. So you don't need to go to university or college to learn about automotive, mechanical engineering. You can do it in Pro 2, for example. I think the one that they always talk about is Mercedes lah, right? Even Mercedes, right? Even Mercedes in Kinrara, right? If you see Mercedes in Kinrara, it's not working. If you see there's a Mercedes office in Kinrara. Actually, Mercedes office in Kinrara also have offer something like this as well. Sorry, it's not here. Mercedes is an SLDN. Sorry, Mercedes is not here. The Mercedes is SLDN. So this one is full time. This one is full time. Highcom College. Highcom College will teach you about same thing. I think same thing as well. Automotive lah. Automotive. G4. Okay, you see the number JD. Let me takut I cakap something. JD 62. Oh, this one. Okay, this number. All right. So you see, just now we were looking at let's say that NASA Academy. You tengok you see there, you have this number 1, 2, 3, 2, all right, 3, 4, all right, 4, all right. So this refer to this, So you have sijil, and then diploma kemahiran 4. Alright, so you see lah, this NASA, for example, dia buat lah, right? So 1, 2, 3, right? So some of it 4. Some of it is a prerequisite to take dunia. So for example, right, let's say you are a diploma on wholesale and retail, right? You need to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Some of it is like that. So in IT, right? In IT, I only know one place that is a PB, right? That you do this, which is Forward School. All right. So in Malaysia there is no. For what I know, from what I know, all right, Forward School is the only place that I know as of today that offers diploma kemahiran from the first way, alright, which is melalui latihan di institusi yang beriktiraf. Alright, I'm not promoting Forward School or something, alright, because tak boleh lah kan, because is a competitor, aku say a competitor to BAC, or this competitor to BAC. But if you want, you can go there. But the first way, right, with the first way, you need to masuk kelas lah, alright, you need to masuk kelas balik, alright, from 9 AM to 5 PM, 9 AM to 5 PM for the next 2 to 3 years. And then of course, Forward School, Forward School you need to pay. Right, you need to pay Forward School. So that's number 1, melalui latihan di institusi yang diiktiraf. Number 2 is what we call SLDN. So just now, I want to talk about SLDN. Alright, I'm not saying that I'm talking about SLDN. I'm talking about SLDN. So SLDN. So this one is 9 ke 5. Alright, you go to schools. This one you go to schools. This one is what we call apprenticeship. Just now I was talking about apprenticeship as well. So apprenticeship means you are kaedah latihan perantisan dalam sistem latihan dua nasional yang dijalankan di institusi dan institusi latihan kemahiran. So how does it work? Alright, how does it work? SLDN. Alright, so this is another reference to SLDN. In SLDN, what will happen is you go to work for 70% of your time. Alright, you go to work for 70% of your time, and 20 to 30% you will go to class. Alright, so 70% to 80% you go to work, and then 20 to 30% you go to class. Right? So for example, alright, they give an example. Alright, 1 or 2 days a week, alright, you go to class, and then 4 to 5 days a week, alright, they will go to works. Alright, you go to works every day. Ataupun or that you can do 1 to 2 months of class, and then 4 to 5 months of you have to work lah. You have to work. Alright, I will not even say practical. You have to work. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask me. So that's what SLDN is, and you cannot go to any company. You need to go to SLDN companies. Alright, there are not a lot, or you need to go to SLDN company and make sure that the SLDN company accept you, right? And then only you can work there, right? You can work there. But remember, when you work there, you are not working as a pekerja. You're working as an apprenticeship, alright, as an apprenticeship. Okay, so why I'm telling you that? These are the SLDN page. Alright, these are the SLDN page. Alright, I'm not asking you. I'm not promoting you to come to my company in any way, because at the moment we don't take SLDN students anymore for this year, because we are looking for the budget. We are waiting for the budget. Alright, so that's why we are not taking anyone anymore this year. But for your information, my company, or if later on, I think is the only one at the moment. I'm not saying that. I think at the moment is the only one that offer SLDN in for web development, right? For web and mobile development, right? So later I will tell you about this program and everything. So if you happen to know any other company, or if you happen, but you have to check out, or what you can do if you're interested, if you're interested, you can just hantar email to here or call them, ask them what is the other company, is there any company that offers J620 later remember this one, J620, right? J620. This is the code for IT subject. Later also we copy paste for you. So J620, later we copy paste for you, right? So if you happen to know any other company, right? If you happen to know any other company that offers that, you can try, you can try and see. And then if not, right, you let me. If not, I will let you know once we get the confirmation from the 2021 budget, right? So this article I shared with you. Whenever you learn, because now we are talking about TVET, right? We are not under MWH, we are under TVET. So when you heard about TVET budget, TVET news and everything, actually when TVET is normally talking about the TVET path that I showed just now. All right, so we are still waiting for what's tadi pun before I'm about to explain to you. So I read like dah cakap ke belum about the budget, right? Dah cakap ke belum about the budget. So nothing concrete yet about where does the TVET budget goes. So once we have something concrete, then we will open it back. And then I will let you know as well. All right. So how does it work in my company? Right? How does it work normally? SLDN. When you join, right? At the moment, I will tell you when you join, you normally, just now I was talking about 2 months, 2 years, right? All right, just I'm talking about 2 years. Anyways, in any way, for you to get a diploma, or in any way, SLDN or you go to, is either you go SLDN or you go here. For you to get a diploma full time is going to be 2 to 3 years. All right. So anyway, any company, right, you go, either you go here or you go here, is going to be 2 to 3 years. So if you are going to SLDN company like Fortress as well, that is going to be 2 to 3 years as well. All right. But right, I don't really encourage you to do full time because there is an option, right? There is an option. So I'm going to show you this thing as well, which is called MySpike. You can go to myspike.my. All right, you can you don't need to go here. I will screenshot for you. So what is dah cakap dia J620, alright, J620, and then you have okay, so dari sini, alright, from here, normally kan, I will just talk to you in human language that you are familiar with. For each diploma kemahiran, alright, for each diploma kemahiran, you will have a number of subjects. Alright, so these are the subjects that you need to learn, that you need to validate for diploma kemahiran in software. Right, so these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, for software is going to be 7 subjects that you need to validate. So these 7 subjects, one subject is around 1.5 months, 1.5 months. 1.5 months, 3, because it depends. Some subject has more weightage than the others. So one subject is around 1.5 months. All right. And then if you finish everything, then it's normally going to be 2 years normally. All right. In each of the subject, then these are the subtopics that you need to cover, right? Topics that you need to understand, right? You need to be able to, for example, website, right? You need to be able to create a website design mock-up. So you need to do a sketch, right, based on the user requirement. Let's say that I say that I want you to create a CV, right? I want you to create a CV or something, and then you need to be able to sketch it, right? To sketch it. This is wireframing part. From wireframing, you need to understand the structure, right? Which part from the wireframe, which part is the header, which part is the footer, which part is the aside, the article, all right? So that's the usage of the element, and then you have to be able to transform the mockup that is created just now into a responsive website. So there is a word responsive here. Just now I was talking to Amirul who took this with me as well. I was saying that there is a word responsive. When there is a word responsive, then we expect you to use either Bootstrap or Flexbox. So it's either way, either you use Bootstrap or Flexbox. And then you make sure that the website created is the same as the given mockup. So just make sure that the website created is the same as a given mockup. And you have to verify that the website is accessible globally, right? Which means that the website can be deployed to GitHub pages, for example. Right? So that's a topic on the first subject, all right? Which is exactly what you did in module 1, right? In module 1, you did this, right? You did this, all right? But you don't have anything yet, right? You don't have anything that, but you did this already. Not exactly that, right? There are a few things that you still need to cover a little bit. I'm doing checklist as well with Amirul just now, right? To make sure we cover that, make sure we cover this, make sure we cover this. So we are doing that as well. So because I'm not teaching you 100%, some things we need to relearn back, right? Yeah, that's the 30% part that we need to cover together as well, right? So we just because I think everyone did module 1. So this one, the second subject is prepare web app development. This time we're talking about web design. This web app development. We're talking about web app development. This is where JavaScript comes in, right? Over here we're only talking about HTML, CSS, HTML and CSS. This is where your DOM manipulation, right? Where DOM manipulation, Ajax, Vue.js. If you did React.js, so this topic is about that. Right, Ajax, Vue.js, React.js, and everything. All right. So integrate front end with data source. Data source is coming from an API. So you remember API week 4, week 5, right? Week 5, week 6. You get the data from the API and then you show it. All right. So your movie app, for example, right? Your movie app is example of this kind of activities, right? Verify successful API integration, right, to ensure. This one is Postman. All right, Regine, we just did it last week, right? We did the Google Docs, the Google Docs and everything. We use Postman to verify. This one is all get, post, put, delete, and then verify that website accessible globally, right? Which means that you can deploy the website. So deploy means, because if you're using DOM manipulation, which is slightly harder, then it's easy for you. You just need to upload it to GitHub pages. Right? But if you're doing something like Vue.js, then from Vue.js, you need to make sure that it's become HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? You need to do the build script, right? We did last week as well. Kalau Rizwan tertinggal, kena tengok balik video tu ya. Kena tengok balik video tu. These are the kind of questions that you will be asked if you want to get this, validate this subject. And then make sure that you upload it to GitHub pages. All right, so that's some of the things for you to validate, for example, this subject and this subject. All right. So if you what we offer in my company is, and I'm not saying that I'm offering now. I don't offer it anymore. All right. But in case next year, in case we heard about the budget, then I will let you know. I will let you know if I have 5 places, right, who are interested, and then which model, which subject you want to validate. So normally you can come to my companies and then you interns lah. You interns lah. I take you. We interns and apprentice for 1 subject, 1.5 months. Right? If 2 subject, 3 months. All right. So 1 subject, 1.5 months, 2 subject, 3 months. If it's 2 months, then we play around with the subject. Right? If it's 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, then it depends. Right? Depends. I don't force you how long you want to stay with me because you are interning. All right. But for each of it, I will try to get you validate some of the subjects. Right? So once you come with in SLDN company, for example, once you come to our company, we will discuss lah. Normally don't discuss one. Normally I decide for you. So I decide for you. Right? For you, I think you should do this. Right? For example, Walid and okay, Walid, you do this. I want you to do this, and I want you to do this. Why I know because well you already learned with me. So I know lah. Right? Which one you can do, which one you can improve, which one you can learn. So that's why sometimes so I decide lah. Right? Which one you should learn and everything. Right? And then of course ada kelas, pagi ada kelas sedikit, sometimes got class, sometimes you have night class, and then we give works at the office as an intern. All right, and then by the end of the 3 months, all right, normally there is an exam, right, ada 2 exam that is from this subject. All right, so once you pass the exam, right, once you pass the exam, then you will get this subject validated. You will get, for example, okay, you come to my company, I said that, all right, we do number 1 and number 2. Right, let's say that I said number 1 and number 2. So once you come to my company, I said that we get number 1 and number 2 validated. Once number 1 and number 2 validated, then it's up to you. You don't need to stay for 6 months or you need to stay for 2 years. Normally, once you get this validated, then you can go look for a job. All right. And then, all right, there are 2 things that you can do. All right, there are 2 things that you can do. Number 1 is, all right, you tell that company, all right, you tell that company, you said that, do you offer? You said you go work first lah. You go work first. After you go work first, then you talk about SLDN to them. Right? You talk. You can know that. Actually, do you know about SLDN? Right? Do you know about SLDN and everything? And then if you don't know about SLDN, then you say lah. Right? Actually, I can validate this module. Right? I need project on this. Right? I need project on this. If I have project on this, all right, actually I can get diploma by the end of 1 year or 2 years. Right? You can discuss with the don't go before you get the job. Once you get the job or something, you talk about you tell them about the program, right? Because company also got benefit. Right? For each SLDN student, company will get tax exemption and company will get incentive as well. Right? So you talk about it to them. Normally, right? So when I'm explaining about SLDN, all right, I explain that there are 2 parts. The first part, right? The first part is the one that they do in company, right? Is the one that they do in company. This part, right? Sorry, this part is the one that they do in company. Right? This is 70 to 80%. The second part is the one that they do in pusat latihan. Right? Pusat latihan means in training schools, right? So if the company interested, I want to know more. Right? I want to know more. The company can be both, all right? The company can be both, or the company can just be pusat latihan amali, and then I will teach you again, all right? I will just teach you. Right? I will be the pusat latihan. Our company, my company can be the pusat latihan. So technically, right, you go there 4 days, and then one day you come to my company, and then we just lah, right? Because the soalan exam semua I buat, no, we pusat latihan do it, pusat latihan know lah what you need to learn and everything. Right, so either your new company, all right, you can talk to your new company and then ask lah, hey, do you know about this? Don't ask immediately. So you ask later, and then if they are interested, especially the small company lah, they want to know, they always want to get money, and you told them lah, actually can you talk about it, company also can get benefit, or you can let me know as well. I can introduce, I can talk, I can explain to them, and then you say lah, right? So macam ni, so they be all macam for me, I pusat latihan and I also pusat teori, or dia boleh 70-80% latihan amali. So they only take care of the intern part, the teaching part, the theory part I will take care. Right? They can sign MOU with us. All right. So that's then you validate within two. You know lah, you don't need to within 2 years. All right. So let's say that you buat ni, alright, you buat ni sikit. Alright, normally this one easy to do lah. Alright, you buat ni sikit. Alright. So within 2 years, alright, you look for companies that can do this. Alright. Within 2 years, and then you validate it. Then once you validate it, sikit, you validate, then you will get your diploma. Right. So I'm not saying about you can get it tomorrow. Alright. The earliest that you can get is 2 to 3 years lah. So I'm not saying that tomorrow you can get diploma. No, within 2 to 3 years, based on what you have learned. Alright, you can actually transform your knowledge into a diploma. Right. So clear for number 1 and 2 clear. I hope it's clear because I'm jumping around. So number 1 is clear. Number 2 clear. Okay. Okay, clear. Then I will talk about number 3. Alright, I will talk to you about number 3. Actually, there is 4 ways, but I will talk to you about number 3, and then I will talk to you about the number 4 as well. Alright. Number 3 is what we call pentauliahan pencapaian terdahulu. Alright, so what does it mean? It means that you don't need to go to Pusat Latihan Penuh, right? You don't need to go to SLDN company, alright? But you are going to validate it by the project inside your company. So let's say that macam ni kan, right? You either way also work lah. Like let's say that you did let's say that you did with me module 1 and 2 module 1 and 2. Where's the module tadi? Well, let's say that you did module 1 and module 2 with me just now. Alright, module. Ya Allah. Okay, let's say that you did this, alright, you got this, and then you got this already, alright. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ada 5 lagi module. 5 more modules that you don't get. Tak apa, alright, it's okay. You just go forward. Normally there is a minimum years, right? I can't remember how long it is. If I'm not mistaken, 3 to 5 years. If I'm not mistaken, 3 to 5 years. Bukan 2 tahun ya. If I'm not mistaken, nanti if you're interested, you just read about it. If you're interested, you read about this. Because document dia banyak. I also don't read all the documents. If I'm not mistaken, it's 3 to 5 years. After that, alright, you can go to Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran, alright, and then you said that actually, alright, I already did this and this. Alright. I want to validate this module, and this module, alright, so I can get the diploma, right? You do that. And then what they will ask you to do is they will ask you to create a portfolio of all of this module. Alright, show me a mobile app that you have created in your previous 3 years. Alright, then you have to prepare documents, source code, and everything. So the people who will check it is also technical. So I might be checking. Alright, so I say, okay, show me the app, show me the source code, and then we have to verify. It's not an exam. It's just checking an interview. Alright. So also local storage. How do you do it? What's the technology? Why do you do this? Right. So it's something like that. Okay, can I check the source code a little bit? Why do you use this function? Alright. So that's okay. This one okay. Alright. Then we give 5 lah. Alright. We give 5 for everything. I think last week we talked about material and why you use material? Why you don't use Bootstrap? Right. Why you use Vue.js? Why you use React.js? So once we interview, everything is okay. They say 5. We are not cruel, but amanah lah, right? I say I don't know. If you answer I don't know, of course we cannot give 5 lah, but we are not cruel one. Okay, then show me a mobile app that has connection to API. Then we talk. So this API, what did you use? All right. Can you show me something because the dalam ni, right? Because what you see is actually the top part. All right. Dia ada detail lagi tau. I think Oh, dia ada detail lagi ni, which is error handling, alright, error handling. Put this one we're talking about put post get put post get delete. So this one is just a topic. So if you go down, alright, you have to what programming language that you use? Alright, so what programming language that you use? What other language? Oh, why? Oh, you use Java, Android. Kotlin, you use Kotlin. So other than Kotlin, what can you use? That kind of question. Oh, you use Flutter. Other than Flutter, what language do you know that can use? Right, so that kind of question, because identify programming language. Determine mobile app elements. Why I give you example? Sorry, I cannot give this example because some of you guys have not doing this. Let me give something like this. This one, all right. I prepare this one. All right. Oh, I'll go. Web app programming. All right. Oh, okay. What language do you use? All right. What framework did you use? I'm using Vue.js. Oh, Vue.js. What language does Vue.js come from? Right. You answer Python, no lah. Right? You answer Python Bangkala. All right. So what is the I see that you're getting data from API. What methods are there? All right. Can you show me? All right. So once the interview is done, once you can prove that you have done a project, right, using all these elements, and then if you click, then banyak lagi lah. If you click, then banyak lagi benda dalam dia. Then I can validate it for you. All right. Once I validate it, once we validate, once the pegawai validate it, then you can get the diploma. All right. Secara PPT. Right. Secara PPT, it means that, all right, secara, where was it just now? Okay, so this one, secara pentaulihan pencapaian terdahulu. Right, so these are the three ways that you can. You don't even need to go to a certain company. So just now I was giving example. I said, oh, you do 2 modules with me, right? But actually, you don't need to do. You can even don't come to my company. You can go directly to your work and everything. You work for 3. I think the only part is I think there's a minimum number of years that you need to work. Right? I think it's 3 to 5 years. All right. After 3 to 5 years, then only you get your diploma, lah, right? And then you can create a portfolio, right? And then make sure that you get it. This one you can do it by modular. You can do it by modular. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Last one, alright, kita sempat lagi saya ni sebab saya pun mau that's for surgeon and one, that's I also, there's another one which is called exam, to take an exam, but I can't remember. Pusat exam, pusat peperiksaan diploma kemahiran something. There's another way for you to get it is by taking an exam right away. This one also same thing. Tak ada. This one also same thing. This one is you need to create a portfolio. Right. The fourth one is you don't create a portfolio, but you take an exam. But this one also same. Minimum 4 years. 3 can lah, 3.5 can. But I think minimum 4 years of experience working. Then you come. This one you can come to me because I also pusat exam. After 4 years, see you again, alright. And then you can take an exam. You can take an exam, but the exam, the difference between PPT you can do by modular. When I say by modular, you can do subject by subject, right? But exam, you have to know everything, and then the exam can be anything. All right, inside the exam, you might have this topic. But PPT means if you have, if you want to validate 5 modules, then you have to show 5 projects. So that's a different exam. You have to make sure that you know everything. You take the exam, and then you make sure that you know everything. You make sure that you know everything. You can exam suddenly 8 hours, and then alamak tak boleh buat mobile app. Cannot lah. You just waste your money to take the exam. Alright, so that's number 4. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, clear? Okay. sikit lagi because apa maghrib juga, isyak pun awal semua. So once you have the diploma kemahiran, right? Once you have the diploma kemahiran, you can go for diploma lanjutan kemahiran. Right? You go for diploma lanjutan kemahiran di LKM. So just now, okay, let's check if you ni. You have J624, right? J6204 2020. This is new. This is new for mobile, for full stack and web. This is new. If you need anything, you can always go to the office in Cyberjaya, right? Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran. The office is Cyberjaya, right? You can always ask them and everything if you need to know more information. You say, apa anak tu you, my company is anak tu you dah tak buat lah. Then she said they don't do it yet. Can I know any other place? You can always ask them like this, like that. Alright, so I will add another one. The other one is J6205. This is the 5 is diploma lanjutan kemahiran. Right, this is diploma lanjutan kemahiran. And then ini 4. Pemahaman antara memiliki sila program. Oh, because I already have the thing. I cannot see it anymore because I already have the thing. I already have a diploma level 5, so I don't need. I can't see it anymore. Alright, but if you want, right? If you want, there's a document that I can share lah. Nanti I can share with you, right? So yang tu after that. So after level 4, you can go after got level 4, or after got to level 4, you can continue level 5. That level 5 is equivalent to diploma lanjutan kemahiran. Or let's go back to here. Normally, and there is no guarantee yet, but I'm talking to some of university as well. I'm pushing them as well. Normally, if you are interested, you can also continue degree in university that accepts a diploma kemahiran. Alright, so if you are interested, you can also continue study. You want to continue study? Dabila, I want to continue study. If you are interested, you can also continue study to get degree in university that offers diploma kemahiran. Alright, in university that take diploma kemahiran, and this university that take diploma kemahiran. It's not a lot, right? It's not a lot, but normally it's what we call the MTUN. All right, it's the one that we call MTUN. So we talk about MTUN. MTUN is actually the 4 university, UMP, UTHM, UTEM, UNIMAP. So I'm talking to UTEM at the moment, and I'm hope that I can talk to UMP as well. All right, so MTUN is the 4 universities so that they can take TVET student, right? So to continue degree, and at the same time also I'm hoping that they can do degree part time. So there are 2 things that I'm hoping, because TVET student is different, right? They are used to part time already. So I'm talking to UTEM at the moment. Once UTEM, I'm talking to UMP, and there's another one that also do it, which is MIT. Right, MIT also normally they take diploma kemahiran student, and this one also I just checked last year with them, right? So MTUN and MIT is somewhere that if you are interested, you can continue study. You can take degree there if you're interested. No guarantee yet. So if you this one is after 2 years. This one is after 2 years. But along the way, people talk and everything. But no guarantee yet. But inshallah, most probably can. The one that there is no guarantee, right? The one that there is no guarantee is actually if you are doing by PPT. Right, if you're doing by PPT, this one tak berapa sure. Right, this one they said tak berapa sure. But if you do this, most probably you can continue study on in MTUN. It's not that I'm not sure because I checked. Because if you do this and this, you will get the same certificate. Alright, by the end of the seven modules, you will get the same certificate, right? Which is Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia. Alright, if you do this, the certificate that you will get is Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia melalui PPT. That's the only thing. I checked with some of the people. Say, normally can because you get Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia. So you do this like this, so both can. But this one they are not sure because this one is written there Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia melalui kaedah PPT. You will see in the certificate. So that's why I'm not sure for this one. But for this one, hopefully, insyaAllah can. At the moment, some of the, just mentioned tadi kan, we're talking about automotive and everything, automotive, electrical, they already accept from that. Where UTEM, for example, already accept for automotive and everything. But since IT is new, right, as you can see, the year 2020, so that's why they, at the moment, they don't accept it because the thing is just created last year, right? But I'm also doing my job, which is convincing them and asking them to take the DKM to the, so that's the story lah a bit. All right, and then that's one. And of course, you can also continue on advanced diploma, right? Advanced diploma. In the end, advanced diploma, we are also working lah. Actually, we from our side, from sebab I'm from SLDN and DKM and SLDN, we do one thing first lah, right? We just make sure we just want to make sure that this one, right, can go in university first. Then only we make sure that this one can go in on university but second years or something. So that's what we are doing. We're doing one thing at one time. Tak nak tergopo-gopo. We just want to make sure that this student can go in university first if they're interested. Then only we want to make sure that this student, or whoever who get it, can lompat kelas or something. Okay. So any questions about SLDN? Not SLDN lah, Diploma Kemahiran ini. So actually, the difference between, Diploma Kemahiran is actually created, whatever field or whatever things that you see here is actually created by industry. All right. And then there's one thing which is called MQA, right? There's one thing that is called MQA. MQA. IT or something, computing. All right. So there is another thing. This is the academic path. There is another reference, right? Which is computing. Right. Computing is actually for MQA. Right. MQA is this is for university part. This is actually created by the professors, right? By the lecturers. All right, this one is created by the industries, and then this one is created by the lecturers. All right, so that's the difference lah, right? And you are lucky because I am one of the panel as well who created this for mobile. I'm created for mobile. I create for level 4. I create for level 5 as well. So that's why you see, because I purposely do it so that all my students can get diploma kemahiran. See, semua dah cover, right? There's only 1-2 subjects lah, right? There's only this subject that is not covered yet. This one is project management, right? This one is project management. This one is data science. But if you almost everything. Dalam-dalam ni a little bit. Of course, you need practice. So that's where the apprenticeship comes in for the practice. You need practice. You need a little bit. If not, almost the same thing. Almost the same thing as what we have learned in the class. So because I make sure that it's not too far from the subject. Right? I cannot show you the level 5. But level 5 also is actually a lot of, you don't see back end here. You don't see a lot of API and everything. The API actually we did for level 5. So in level 5, buat API, lepas buat API, do something like that. So we just make sure that, I just make sure that it's not too far from whatever that you get from PEC. Okay, cepat satu lagi. And then I open to questions and then I don't want to lambat sangat sebab dah nak hujung maghrib dah. Apart from this, nanti kan bila you buat benda tu, when you do that, alright, if you want to check, you have also for, if you happen to know somebody, right? If you happen to know somebody, J62. Alright, so do you have this? Apart from front end, you have full stack, and then you have UI UX as well. But UI UX is not needed. This one is what I created. But UI UX is not needed for you guys because UI UX is level 3, right? Because UI UX is for those people. Level 3 means sijil lah, sijil. For those people who never learn programming and everything, but you want to do mobile app and website, so they have to do level 3 first. Then only they start level 4 and level 5. Since you guys already know programming, then you can start level 4 and level 5 right away. Right? No need to do level 3. So if you know somebody who want to do ni, right, just after SPM, brothers or something. Actually, after SPM also can do here right away. But UI, this one is UI UX level 3. And then there's another one also because I was looking at ni apa tak keluar lagi digital marketing. There's another one also digital marketing. Right, digital marketing also is there. I was looking at Rachel punya portfolio, right? Digital marketing also have a diploma kemahiran, right? If for example, Rachel, you're already working for how many years, right? You should know that, right? There is a way for you to get. You don't need to do it lah. You can go from PPT right away. You can go from PPT. But digital marketing is already approved. But it's just that it is not updated yet. Right? It's already approved. It's just approved like 2-3 weeks ago, but it's just not inside the website first. That one also I was involved as well. Okay, so that's the thing. Any questions from? I open to Rizwan and Rachel first. Any questions from Rizwan and Rachel? If there is no question from Rizwan and Rachel, Rachel lagi Regine, ya Allah, Rachel is because sorry previously there's a student with called Rachel. So if there is no question for Regine and Rizwan, so the class is over. But you can always, if you have any question, you can always PM me. You can always PM me. Okay, if there's no questions, that's it for Regine and Rizwan. After this, we will do AWS. Well, you can stay, tapi takut tak faham je. For the rest of you, we take 20-minute break lah, pukul 8 lah, pukul 8. I think I need to take. I think 8:05 minit lah because I think I need to take a shower as well because I'm coming from office. 8:05 minit, we will continue. We will continue with the last. Alright. To answer your question, the last today is the last class. A replacement class. It's not the whole week. It's today is the last class, the replacement class of one of the class that I owe you. And then no class. The next class is next week. All right, the next module for Raj, Kesavan, and that's it. And the others who still alive is next week. Okay, so see you at 8:05 minit. Yeah, this is the last class for module 2.
Sir?
Yes.
Nak tengok freecodecamp saya tak?
Nanti saya check apa ya freecodecamp. Saya check. Tak apalah, saya percaya. You betul ya, you buat ya? Boleh lah, you share lah. You boleh share.
Atau saya screenshot.
You screenshot. Cukup 200 okey. You just screenshot je. Cukup 200. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Rizwan jangan lupa ya. Freecodecamp JavaScript. Alright, JavaScript. 110. Okay, all right. Okay, we continue back AWS, right? There we continue back AWS. Actually, right? Your next module is next week. All right, your next module is next week. Betul lah. I think Isha already gave me because normally they are still on leave from the Bali, right? Asia is still on leave. He will only be back on 9th, right? He will only be back on 9th. So 17, right? For you guys is going to for the remaining is 17, right? For the others, good luck, right, with the job search and everything. For the others is 17, right? So you have one more week left. Today is the last class, but I'm going to let you have my accounts for this week, right? I'm going to let you have the account for this week because my account is going to expire end of this month. So I'm not sure how many credit left. I have a lot of credits. Berpuluh-puluh ribu berpuluh-puluh ribu USD sama. I got 10,000 or 20,000 USD, and then it's going to expire this month. So of course you can, but just remember, just make sure that you clean it up. Let's say that you do this exercise. Wow, macam best, right? EC2 Mac and everything. If you want to complete this exercise for 10 minutes, it's going to cost 26 USD. It's okay, I don't really mind, but all right, if you forget to clean out, then it will cost me a lot of money. All right, so just make sure that you close you close it. All right, just be careful a little bit. All right, just be careful a little bit. Check here. All right, this is how I need to pay. I don't mind about how I need to pay when you're learning. All right, but the one that I worry is after, right, if you forgot to clean up. Right, last Friday also I checked everyone clean up, no worries. So I trust you in a good I trust in a good hand. This is the link. All right, this is the link of all the things, all the thing that you can do, right? All the things that you can do with AWS. So if you have, for example, a particular thing that you want to name for serverless or something. There is one that I recommend last time. Serverless, for example, all right? Serverless. Maybe I recommend, all right? If you want me to recommend, all right? This one I recommend you to do it, all right? If ini we will do today, right? These two we are going to do today. Buat WordPress lagi. But this is, if you want, I recommend this, all right? And then if this one also, I would recommend this. I think this is the one that I shared with you last week as well. So this is the one that I shared with you last week as well. So if you want my recommendation, serverless is, you read a little bit about this, right? Especially serverless part. So you can read about serverless a little bit. Yang ni semua a little bit. This one, right? Hands on the web relation and activity and API and database. And also, this is the one that I shared last week. So if you want my recommendation also, I can share it with you. All right, I can share it with you. Storage is S3. S3 okay lah, right? S3 and everything. If you want to know about S3, okay, but I think it's enough. It's enough. Store and retrieve a file. This one is a little bit about S3 and everything. So we can do as well. Okay. All right. So you can go. We are going to do some things. Right? We're going to do some things first. You can go to your console, or you can log in into your console. Let me check. All right. So, I will show to you anyway because this part of the training as well. This part of the thing. This is part of the things that they're going to ask on the exam as well. All right. So, at the same time, right? At the same time, if you're interested, you can, as I mentioned, yeah, the AWS certified cloud practitioner. All right. If you're interested, as I mentioned, you have this. Oh, you can do. Oh, other things that you can do is you can do all this. Good luck buat 2 jam. You can do this 4 hours video, and then from time to time you can do it. You can hands on using my account. That's also it's up to you. And one of the things that's going to be that's going to be us on the exam. Right? This is part of the exam. As you, hari tu you tengok last time you saw, right? There is one questions about that is the actual exam questions. Whatever that you get from AWS, that's the one that we did on the first week. That is the actual exam questions. That when they ask about what did we do last time? Free account. What does free accounts have? Or what is the free tiers? So it's part of the questions. So billings and everything is part of the questions. I want to check my credits here. All right, my credits here. See, I still have 6,000. All right, I'm still have 6,000 remaining. All right, so that's why if you want to use, see, total amount remaining, total amount used. Can I top it up? Can I top it up? I think I can still top it up. Right. So yeah, I have 10,000. Right. I can still use it. It's still valid until the end of this month. So if you want, all right, I want to show you. Feel free to use it. And then dekat sini, somewhere over here, actually it happens to our company last time. Budak-budak ni, my staff at that time it was not my company lah, right? I worked for it. They bobo and they forgot to close it, right? They forgot to close it. So well, something you cannot blame the people, right? Because actually the one that need to be blamed is yourself, right? The one that need to be blamed yourself. Because it was really my fault lah, because I didn't set this. All right, I should have set this. All right, so it's the stuff is not an issue, right? But I should have this, or I should create this. So this one, I will say that, all right, I want to get an alert. All right, so monitor your costs against a specified dollar and receive alerts when your user-defined threshold are met. Using cost budget, the budgeted amount you set represents expected cloud spend. For example, you can set a cost budget for business unit and then add additional parameters. Right? So this one. So I should have do this. So it's part of the question that we're going to ask on the exam as well, which is budget and alarm. I should have done this. I should have set. All right. I should do. All right. I only want the monthly amount to be around 200 USD. All right. So if it's almost exceeded 200 USD, so this is my cost, my amount, and everything. So if it's exceeded 200 USD, please let me know. All right. So this is, for example, teaching purposes. So in case tonight somebody forgot, right? In case, all right. Yeah, in order to be notified, all right, so you can set up to 5. You know, your alarm, right? You set your alarm, right? So if somebody forget, all right, when 50%, all right, so yeah, so I want to be alerted. All right. Or maybe if it's 70%, 80%, I want it to be alerted. All right, so this is setting the budget. So I show it because it's part of the question that they ask. All right, if somebody is interested to take the exam. So these are the thing. These are the thing that you can use my account. All right, you can use my account to just but tengok what it's up to you. 1 week cuti. You nak apa? Malam free kan? Malam free untuk for Walid and Faiz malam free kan? You buatlah apa benda you nak buat. You want to study kan? You want to have a look at this is okay and everything. And then okay, so this one SNS is anyone know what SNS is? SNS, all right. SNS if it's actually for SMS, right? If you want to send messaging, you want to send SMS, all right, then you can use SNS. SMS. Right? You can use SMS. Not only SMS. Sorry, not only SMS. It can be anything, but including SMS as well. Including SMS or push notification as well. Right? So this is SNS. So in case another service that you learn, right? SNS, which stands for notification service. Ada tulis apa? You know, I'm wondering is part of the exam or not. I'm wondering is part of the exam or not. It's not here. Notification. It's not part of the exam, right? So it might not be part of the cloud practitioner. But I'm sure that it's going to be part of the yang apa cloud architect, right? So after cloud practitioner, you have cloud architect. Okay, so this is the thing. Once I'm done, so I press next. All right. A budget, I think that's okay. Action. Oh, this one is, for example, I want somebody to close it for me. All right, this one is okay. I press next. Review the error. So this one, I just remove it. Okay. I think I just removed it. All right, and then press next. And then create budget. All right, so I already set my budget. So now, so you can do it tonight, or you can use it tonight. You can use this week. This week you can use. So in case somebody did something, right, I will get an email, and of course I will look for you guys. Right. So this is AWS budget. All right. So it is under this topic, AWS budget and alarms. Okay. So we have. This also good. Right, if you want to have a look at this, actually banyak benda lah. A lot of things is here. Banyak benda that is cool here. This also, if you want, elastic beanstalk also is quite nice as well. Elastic beanstalk. Ada tak? So the entire tutorial is here, right? I know that it's mixed up already. So the entire tutorial is here, right? And then I list down all everything that's I recommend beanstalk. If not elastic, you can use elastic beanstalk tutorial. And then it will go back. So because but they are the new and old documentation. Right, they have new and old documentation, so it will always have how to deploy a Node.js application and express inside AWS using elastic beanstalk. Right, so this is something that you can do as well. Right, so whatever that I put is recommended for you to do. Okay, I'm going to do back two things first. All right, we were on EC2 last time. All right, we were doing EC2 last time, and under EC2, image. Tak ada. I'm sure some question ada dalam AI. Sorry, it's not AMI. No wonder sebab tu dia tak keluar. I'm sure that AMI. Alright, so it's here 58.36. So I tried to cover as much as possible from there. Alright. Tadi apa like sale tak? Like sale masuk exam tak? Like sale tak masuk exam, tak apalah. Pada kita buat like sale. So AMI, Amazon Machine Image. Right, Amazon Machine Image. We have done this last week. We have done. I already explained a little bit about this on Friday. Right, I'm already explained about it on Friday. When did I explain it to you? All right, when did I explain it to you? I explained it to you when I was using when I was doing launch instance. All right. And then I was doing create from AWS Marketplace. All right. So once I do create or is it a marketplace or community? Yeah, either one. So I was doing it last week. All right. So AWS Marketplace. All right. I was explaining this to you already. All right. But you can also create your own AMI. So basically what AMI is, you know that when you create the EC2, right, you have to install this, you have to install that, you have to install that, you have to make sure that this is this, you have to update it, you have to run this command line, you have to give this permission and everything. Right, let's say that I want to do it again, right? Tomorrow I need to create another server. Right, this is for WordPress ni apa Faiz dengan Walid tak buat WordPress lah, right? But Amirul will do WordPress, right? This is for Moose Academy website, right? My academy website, for example. And then I have another one for anak to you. But it's always the same. You have to keep repeating it. You have to do it. You have to do the same process. What I'm going to do now, what you can do as well, or you can just go to your EC2. All right, you can go to EC2. After this, you can follow. So this is my server. All right, I have installed all things. All right, this is my server. I already installed all this. I want to save it as a template. All right, I want to save it as a template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do actions. I'm going to do image and template. And I'm going to do create image. All right, create image. Okay, sorry, I managed my fund. All right. Once you create image, for example, I can say, all right, this is WordPress. All right, WordPress one moose, for example. All right, and then this one, if you want to add tag, and then I just press create image. All right. Once we have done that, it will be creating it. All right, you'll be creating it, and then on the left side, you have what we call AMI. Alright, so on the left side you have AMI. Ya Allah, banyaknya budak-budak ni. I'm not sure if I'm being charged for this or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it now as well. Tengok budak-budak ni pakai dari tahun 2017. Student has been using my ni. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the images that yang tak pakai ni. How to delete? Deregister. Is it deregister? Deregister. I should be writing deregister. All right. So yeah, deregister. Right. So once I have this, all right. Once I have this, right, it will create. Right. After this, you guys can do as well. Kalau nak buat boleh buat juga, but it's straightforward. Lama ni. You guys boleh buat dulu. Alright, buat dulu. Nanti kita kena tunggu lama. Sambil you guys buat, give me 5 minutes to go take my Grab food which I ordered previously. Alright, so boleh buat dulu. Tunggu saya ambil Grab food kejap. So this one I give it a name. I give it one moose image. One moose image. So you guys can do it as well. And then give it a name. Give me 5 minutes to get my Grab food. Tak payahlah ya, kita duduk di sini je. Okay. Right. Okay, saya punya dah settle. Alright, saya punya dah settle. Alright, so Faiz buat juga and everything. So now, kita tengok balik ya. Instances saja. Right, instances just now I have ni 13229. And then I have my AMI tadi. Alright, I have my AMI tadi. From my AMI, what I can do is what I can do is I can do launch from this AMI. Alright, I can do launch from this AMI. I think you saw last time as well. You saw last time. Other than launch, there's spot instance as well. So you can do launch, or you can request for spot instance, right? Spot request, spots instant. You already saw it last Friday as well. So let's say that I do launch. Okay, I will do the same thing. All right, so it will get from the previous configuration, add storage 8, right, add text. This one you have to look back hari tu punya, right? You have to look back the one that we did last week, right? I think last week we did this one, launch one moose. All right, you don't need to redo it, right? You can assign it to the same one last week, and then press review, and then press launch, and then link it back to the same key pair. Right? If you want, you can link it back to the same key pair. This one I think. This one I think. This I have. All right. So then, once I do that, I will have my second server. All right. I will have my second server. Tengah launching. Betul lah. Oh, yeah, it's still launching. So ada ni Faiz punya web server down ya. Kenapa down? Right, yang merah sebab dia tengah ni dia tengah buat ni dia launch. One more second server. I'm still waiting.
Sir,
Yes.
yang key tu macam mana yang tadi bila launch?
Kena pilih yang kamu punya key. Faiz punya key apa sebelum ni kan? Ada kan? Faiz sekelas. Pilih yang Faiz kelas punya.
Itu dalam apa ni teks ke apa?
Yang hujung. Kan last week kita ada buat kan yang PM semua tu? Ingat tak? Kena pilih. Yang hujung saya nanti bila launch instance ataupun dekat sini pun boleh juga launch instance from my AMI kan. So dia akan ada sama lah, select DCC lah ya. Ini alright.
Lepas tu
the last page, there are two things need to be careful. The first one is the group. Alright. So yang group tu you select yang betul lah, alright. You select the correct one. Second one, alright, after you do this, press launch, make sure that you select existing key pair and then cari Faiz class.
Okay sir.
Okay. Okay, once I have that, still initializing. Okay, so this one, once it's okay, right? So I have my second server. This is the IP address. I masukkan dia, tak jalan. Alright, I masukkan dia tak jalan. Because, alright, I have to turn on my server. Alright, I have to turn on my server. So this one, for you guys susah lah For you guys susah. Not susah lah, right? You remember the setting, just change the IP address. For me, it's going to be SSH minus I EC1 muz. Dot class dot pem ec2 dash user at IP address. For you guys, you have to remember back how to do the, tak payah buat the key, you don't need to do it anymore, right? You just need to do the configuration, the settings. Then you will do command line to start a server. Alright, service httpd start kan, service http ke service apache. Right. Okay, so I pun tak ingat. Alright. So kadang-kadang I ingat separuh benda I tak ingat. So let me check back. What is the thing? Ada tak command line? Service. Anyone remember? Service httpd kot. Service http. I'll come back to slide lah. Service. Sudo service http start, betul lah. Tadi I buat apa? I buat apa ni? Sudo service httpd start. Sudo service, I tak buat sudo I tak buat sudo. So once I do that, refresh, alright, then the website is copied as well. The website also is being copied. Alright, the website also is being copied. Tapi pelik kenapa dia ni? I think it's a database setting as well. I need to do some. I think it's copied already. Refuse to connect. Ada beberapa benda lah. Apa yang salah ke database tu? Kalau it's not the database configuration. It's not the database configuration. CD var http var cd www cd html vim wp.config php. Ya, ini dah betul. Rasa okey. Kenapa tak keluar? Why is not exactly like this? Let's see. This is my server. This one also down already. Tak apa, buat juga siap. Tap ssh minus I one mouse underscore class.pm ec2 dash user. That's right. There we are. Sudo service httpd start. Sudah tutup weekend. Alright, this was supposed to be the website that I have, but I have this. Dapat. I think just now it was still loading. Alright, so that's it. That's it. I think got already. Alright, just now it might be loading. Alright, so this is how I copy from one page to another page. And then if you want to log in, alright, you will do wp admin, then you can log in. Right? I think last time we did ABCD 1 2 3. This is mine here, and then you can edit it. So I buat password. ABCD 1 2 3 4. have all right. So that's that. And then you see, I have the same website in the two server. Right. So that's how I replicate from one EC2 to another EC2. Tadi just now I think it's just that I need to wait a little bit. Right. It's just that I need to wait a little bit. All right. Any questions for that one? That's Amazon Mesh AMI. So if, right, because I try to follow this syllabus as much as possible, all right, so if any of you interested, if any of you are interested to take the exam, you let me know as well. I have not taken the exam myself, so, well, we can go through this together, but I have not taken the exam myself, but I can just give you reference now. So AWS Cloud Certificate. This one berguna, this one berguna. This one berguna lah, right? So, but I think this one also need to renew, right? This one also need to renew. Alright, so if any of you are interested in the exam, you can let me know. So I think actually sebab I ada lah buku-buku pun I ada juga, right? Buku-buku lah, I have a little bit on AWS. So that's AMI. After that, I want to show elastic. Not elastic. I want to show elastic IPs. I want to show elastic IPs. Okay, so I have my first server and I have my second server. Faiz tengah buat juga kan. Yang the others is okay, the others nak buat nanti pun boleh because I'm going to share the things anyway to you. What I'm going to do now, with my first server, I have my first server, I tak usah, but later I will stop my server. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop my server, right? We left it running for the weekend, so tak kisahlah. You see my credit 6,000. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to close my server. Right? I'm going to close my server. So if you want to close your server, there are two things. One is stop, another one is terminate. All right. Stop means stop. Terminate means stop and delete. Right? So stop means stop. Terminate means stop and delete. So if you remember, right, when we did our AWS, when we did our first setup, right, we press next and everything. We select here shutdown behavior. Shutdown behavior means when do I delete the file, all right? So shutdown behavior baca ya. So shutdown, specify the instant when and OS level shutdown is performed. If I select stop, stop means I will delete it. Right? If I select terminate, it means that, well, I can stop and then only be terminated. To be honest, I do remember yang kedua ni I buat tak terminate, but okay, let's say that I select stop here. So let's say that I have my EC2 just now. On my EC2, 1 millisecond server, all right, I want to stop it. All right, I say, all right, I want to stop it. Then the server will be stopping. Fresh. Yang ni pun you guys belajar kan? I think you guys belajar juga sebab you guys have to clean up the instances. And after you create it, you clean up the instances. So when you clean up the instances, I think you learn about this as well. You learn about the stop as well. But the thing that I want to show is not about clean up the resources. I want to show you about elastic IPs. So in case kan you ni, kenapa kena macam ni? Alright, so you know. So now my server is stopped. Alright, my server is stopped. I'm not going to be charged and everything. Alright? But now I want to reopen my server. Or it is the same behavior as if I restart the server. Just now you saw there is, for example, this one kan tadi ada stop, but I can also choose to restart the server. Alright, so this one, sorry, which one? This one just now. Mana security networking? Oh, manage instance state. Okay, so not this one. Okay, this one, right? I can select stop. I can select reboot, or I can select reboot as well if I want. So let's say that this one, I change it. Oh, ini sorry, this one. To start, I change it to start. Tengok balik-balik. Tadi my IP address was 18 something, 13 something. My IP address was 18 something. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, my IP address was 18. Allah, mama lupa pula. History. My IP address was not this one. 13229. Who remember my IP address? Nobody remember. I also forget to take note of the IP address. But tak apa, it's either 13 or 18 something. But my point is, the IP address change every time I restart it, right? So now it's 54 something, right? Just now it was 18 something. If I start to type 54 dot, right, you see that there is no 54, right? It was not on my history, which means, oh, actually I can check from here, or I can check from here. So my IP address was, this one is 13, right? This was actually 13 as well. One is 133.153. This one is 201.218. Right, so so my IP address was 13 something, but now it's become 54 already. So every time I restart the server, and then of course the same thing. I have to go SSH. So every time I restart the server, I go reserve the SSH, and then I have to do that, right? Sudo service httpd restart, right? Start, right? And then wait for a while, then wait for a while, then we turn out, right? So now the IP address change, right? Not only if I stop, but if I restart, something is wrong. Normally, if something is wrong with your server, right? What you will do? Dia macam PC lah. If something is wrong with your PC, what you're going to do is you're going to restart your PC. Right? You're going to restart your PC. Same thing as well with your server. Every time something is wrong with your server, you check Apache, Apache okay or not. Right? Try to restart Apache. If you restart Apache, restart. If I'm not mistaken, IP address change. Tak apa, I check now. If it's changed, it changed. If it's not changed, it's not changed. So it was my mistake. But this is kind of question that you can get as well on exam. So let's try to restart the server. But I don't think it will be asked on practitioner. When you do if you're interested, you do practitioner. After practitioner, you do cloud architect. So cloud architect is actually finding the right services. Right, they will give you a problem. And then once they find out your problems, for example, I want to deploy a WordPress website. Which services I should use? I want to create a WordPress website with a certain budget, with a certain number of users. All right, I think that one is cloud architect professional already. So which service I should use? Right, so that's kind of questions that will be asked for the cloud architect. Right, finding the right solution. Cloud architect, solution architect, AWS question. Tengoklah, right? Jadi kan sample. Alright, kita tengoklah. Associate normally tak susah, but it's about the services. Dia mesti use case. Right? The difference is just now it was the question that you get is about the service. But for this one, it's more on use case. Right? A company is developing a highest available web application using stateless web server. Which services are suitable for storing session state data? This one also, I think it's storage gateway is one. Another one might be elastic cache or dynamo. I think it's elastic cache, right? So that's this is the kind of questions. Most of the question is on solution. Use case, right? Use case. An application save the log to an S3 bucket, right? So this one. A user wants to keep the log for 1 month for troubleshooting purposes and then purge the logs. What feature will be enabled? So this one is more on the configuration. So this one you really have to try on the S3 and everything. I think this one life cycle. If I'm not mistaken, it's life cycle. Might be life cycle. It's not C. It's not D. I think it's B. Jawapan dekat belakang tak? Nombor 7. Betul lah B. Alright, dah. Oh, DynamoDB and Elastic Cache. I'm not sure. I think it's oh, sorry, you gave salah lah. So it's Elastic Cache or DynamoDB. So this is, you see the questions that will come out from here is more on scenario, right? More on scenario. So that's what I think as well, right? Kalau ni kan, yang IP address tu mungkin dia tanya. Okay, restart tak apa, so we are clear. Restart, it does not change the IP address because I'm also not sure. But you have to restart the server, right? You have to restart the server. But alright, if you stop, alright, the IP address change. Clear? Clear or not for this?
Boleh lah sir.
Boleh faham Boleh lah tu macam ni ke dah saturated?
Saturated sebenarnya.
Ya kan, kau perlu fikir, kau tak fikir aku from the morning mengajar kan. That's now you know my life
Dah CPU dah slow down dah.
Tapi besok tengok, sebab besok tak ada kelas malam. And that's my normal life. That's my normal life. You only part of half of my normal life today. Okay. So for that, you need an elastic IP. Alright. So elastic IP I check I nampak macam ada elastic IP, elastic cloud compute, elastic load balancer. Elastic IP tak ada, alright, elastic IP tak ada, but alright, I think it might be us. Okay, so this is where, for example, I said that no, I want an IP address that will be static. Right, I want an IP address that will be static. Static means I don't want it to change. So now I have this IP address. All right. I have this IP address. Then once I have this IP address, I say that all right, this IP address, all right, I want it to be linked to my Muzaffar server just now. Right, I want it to be linked to my Muzaffar server. So I try to link it there. All right, and then I press associate. All right. So now this IP address, all right, I just press here, all right, then it will be, this is my Muzaffar server, is my Muzaffar server. So it might take a while, all right, it might take a while as well, all right, it might take a while. So I go back to my EC2, all right, I go back to my EC2. Inside my EC2, all right, so it's in there, right? So this server, I already link it there. It might take a while for it to appear there, right? It might take a while. Nanti kalau you belajar network, you learn lah, right? Network propagation, DNS propagation. Kalau Faiz dengan Walid, well, you had a chance, you can ask lah what changing IP address. So this one, the difference now is every time I stop it, right? We did the same experiment just now. Every time I stop it, and then refresh back. All right, it's already stopped. Oh, sebab the filter. All right, now my thing is already stopped. Faiz pun punya stop. All right, so but since it's my thing, all right, my thing is tied to an IP address. All right, when I restart it, all right, I change it back to start, then I will still get the same IP address, and of course I have to pay for my IP address, right? So not of course, right? As long as I keep this IP address, all right, as long it will be there, or it will be there. All right, refresh ke I kena ni file incognito Windows or something. Alright, dia ambil masa sikit lah. Dia ambil masa because of the IP just now, but trust me, it works. But every time, alright, so every time I restart, it will be linked to the same IP address. Alright, SSH minus my EC2 user. Ni, this one is one mouse class. Maybe sebab I tak restart lagi kot. Kena buat. Okay, restart. Okay, maybe sebab tadi I tak restart, tapi nampak dah keluar dekat situ. Alright, so that's elastic IPs. Alright, in case, alright, in case you work, so you have a project, alright, in case you have a project or ni, alright, and then you check, stop, tiba-tiba IP address berubah, alright, stop, tiba-tiba IP address berubah, stop, and then suddenly the IP address change. You know, in AWS, that's the reason, right? That's the reason why, because if you want it, then you have to pay lah. You have to pay. So to ensure efficiency, so we impose a small hourly charge if an elastic IP address is not associated with a running instance, or if it's associated with a stop instance or an attached network device while your instance is running, you are not charged. So you just make sure that is charged, is linked to an IP address, but you are charged for any additional IP address. For one is free lah. One is free. So this one is free, but after this, alright, if I want to add one more, then I have to pay. Alright. So since I don't need anymore, I just want to show it for teaching purposes. So this one I buang balik lah. I don't need it anymore. So once I don't need it, I just disassociate, right? Disassociate to my server just now, and then I will just release the IP address. So which means I don't need it anymore. Then if I go to my EC2, my EC2 should have a new IP address. Oh, it should have that IP address, but once I restart, it will have a new IP address. Okay, understand about this. Sudah saturated. Sudah saturated. What is an IP address already? You have to think, what is an IP address? Cepat, Faiz. Cluster A, Faiz, Daniel, and Walid. What is an IP address? Semua saturated hari ni ya. IP address is the address of your computer. Right? An IP address is the address of your computer. Alright? So every time, alright, every time, each of the PC in the world, or each of the server, each of the PC will have an IP address and you connect to it. So this one we already talked about. We have private and public IP address. So we have private and public IP address. When we're talking about private IP address, so then that's where I talk about CS, I talk about red alert and everything. When we talk public IP address, when you talk about our IP address, we're actually talking about the router IP address that change every night as well, right? Unless if you have the static IP, same thing as well, the same concept as well. So now, if I create a WordPress website, right? I create something like this. Why do you think I need a static IP address and not a dynamic IP address? So let's say that I have this website, I create this website. Based on the knowledge that we have learned so far, or based on the knowledge, because this is based on the knowledge that we have learned so far, why do we need a static IP address and not a public IP address?
Public yang berubah and IP address.
Tak, static versus dynamic. Static tu maksudnya the elastic lah, alright? Elastic IP just now. Dia tak berubah. Kenapa IP address tu tak boleh berubah? Why? When we host a website, for example, why does the IP address cannot be changed? Kenapa website tidak address website tidak boleh berubah? Why the website address cannot be changed? Walid dah ni, Walid pun dah tengah ni. Dah tak larat. Now you guys know. Yang you all nampak ni je. You haven't seen me the day where I start from 9 to 5 PM. Tomorrow I start at 9, finish at 1. There is a day that I start at 9, finish at 1. Sambung balik 2 sampai 6. Sambung balik kelas malam you all. So you have not seen me that day. Orang punya ni baru beberapa hari je kan. Now you have not seen that day. Alright, so why? This server will be linked to what after this?
Komputer.
Komputer, bukan komputer, tapi komputer tu, alright, when dia berkait tau. You have to know, you have to check back your ni, alright, you have to check back the questions, the first 10 questions that I give you, right? Something like this. I think we did this sebelum tu. We did this on the other slide. You have the first 10 questions. The IP address will be linked to what?
Database.
Bukan. Database dekat dalam. Yang dekat luar tu. Dekat luar, it will be linked to what? Ini soalan ni confirm ni keluar interview ni. Keluar tak? Hari tu, when you went for interview, what question did he ask? You actually, Faiz just told me, alright, so actually, if at least Faiz can share as well. Faiz just told me that he went for interview. He just told me, I pun tak tahu. Dah dia dah pergi and then that guy know me. So apa dia tanya? Interview
Dia tanya pasal PHP se.
Oh, dia pasal PHP. Lepas tu jawab apa?
Jawab lah apa yang tahu.
Cakap apa kan saya dah ajar. Cakap saya tak buat PHP. Tapi hari tu sempat berjalan ravel. Tapi macam tu lah. That kind of thing.
Dia bagi assignment sebelum tu.
Lepas tu dapat buat tak?
Separuh jalan.
Separuh jalan. Lepas tu tak hantar?
Hantar.
Okay, right. Lepas tu kalau the same question kalau you buat dalam macam this kind of because Faiz, let's say that you have the same questions kan, tapi kalau dalam JavaScript you rasa you boleh buat ke tak?
Boleh.
Okay, boleh kan. So in that case, in the future kan, you dapat assignment, alright, and then the assignment is language that you are not familiar. So what you do is You buat je dalam PHP, kalau you cakap kan, dia kata separuh jalan kan, you buat separuh jalan dalam PHP, but you give the complete one on JavaScript.
Okay, macam tu.
Boleh buat itu. Kalau saya okey je.
Oh.
Kan, because saya cakap je, sir, so actually, this is my answer in PHP, but since I'm just learning, alright, but previously in class I learned JavaScript, I will give you the solution in JavaScript as well. But if I have more time, I can prove to you, I need to learn a little bit. You kena pandai jual diri you lah. Kalau you buat macam tu kan, kalau I akan ambil. Kan, it does not shows your, because it knows, it shows that you, tapi you kena buat lah yang PHP separuh jalan tu kan, you dah kantoi kan.
As long as dia boleh jalan lah.
You boleh jalan kau, okay, dah boleh kan. Cuma dia, sir, actually, since I only I just start learning this for 2 classes or something kan, you just say that. Or I self-learn, kan? I self-learn on YouTube. But this is the far that as I can go. Kan? Terus terang je. But, actually I have been doing JavaScript for the last 2 months, alright? I give also the solution on JavaScript, alright? Just to show you, actually, I know how to do it, but it's just I might need, alright, more time to do it on PHP. To learn a little bit more PHP, but I think I can do it lah. Cakap macam tu lah. You kena pandai jual lah. Kalau next time kan.
Itulah saya ingat satu static kat situ je rupanya boleh bagi.
Kalau you rasa jawab biar lain kan, you jawab lah, you buat benda tu kan. Jadi you janganlah biarkan kantoi. Ini je lah, sebenarnya saya tahu ni pasport. Kalau ada login kan, saya tahu ni pasport semua saya tahu. It prove budak ni tahu pasport. Cuma tak sempat lah. So for me. Ini dia tak tanya, FizzBuzz pun tak tanya.
Macam mana?
JavaScript, FizzBuzz, dia bilang asal.
Dia tanya pasal bootstrap je lah.
Oh, bootstrap. Bootstrap dia apa?
Dia suruh buat dashboard pakai bootstrap.
Oh, dia dah belajar kan?
Yang bootstrap tak ada masalah. Yang PHP lah yang masa nak PHP nak ambil data tu.
Oh ni. Tapi pakai Laravel ke tak pakai Laravel?
Tak, just plain PHP.
Oh, kenapa dia tak jawab? Saya boleh pakai Laravel.
Dia kata je nak test dulu pakai PHP tu. Form pure basic tu.
Oh, okay. Tapi itulah, tapi apa? Tak apalah. Tapi sepatutnya tu MySQL ke Node.js?
MySQL.
Tak apa, tak bercakap. Tu kalau ni kan, actually tu juga. No, I don't know. It's just a difference. Tak apalah, itu kan sebab for me there is no way for you to be able to do it. For me lah, tapi kalau you Google boleh laku kan. Kalau you Google mungkin boleh. SQLize kita ada buat tak?
SQLize ada masa waktu tu kan?
Ada. Did we do this? Alright. So I encourage you guys as well. So take this time right after this since ini pun dia ada apa? He give his feedback as well. I encourage you also to have a look at SQLize, right? So I'm not sure if we did it. Tak ingat lah buat ke tak. I can't remember if we did it or not. Just do a quick. Buat kan? I think we did, right? Did we do?
Not sure.
I can't remember. I did with one batch, but I'm not sure if it with you guys or not. But I did this with one batch. Alright. So just no sir, so okay, siapa kata no, so that's why I remember I did it with my one batch, but of course it's not you guys lah. Si Kesawan kata tak. So kalau ada masa, right? Since Faiz also give the feedback and the interview is about connecting to MySQL, right? Connecting to MySQL. So you try. I think I did it with previous batch, not with you guys, right? You try this. This is how to create a connection to MySQL database. So you learn how to create connection to HTTP apa? How to create connection to ni ni dah tanya dah. Sini dah dia memang bagi projek lah. So you already learn about how to create connection to MongoDB. Alright. So learn new Mongo. So kena ingat balik so everything that you learn ada tujuan dia. Alright, so learn new Mongo is connection to MongoDB database. So that's learn new Mongo. And then after learn new Mongo, you use connection to MySQL database. Since this is the last class, kita buat recap juga. So you learned about learn you Node first. So this is the JavaScript. Asynchronous JavaScript, or fundamental of Node.js. All right, and then you learn about Mongo. All right, Mongo. Then you learn about MongoDB, right? You learn MongoDB, the MongoDB query. All right, this is the film. If you remember, the Lord of the Ring and apa, ada Lord of the Ring semua tu. So this is fundamental of MongoDB. Okay, after that, you learn you Mongo. Alright, aku punya eja fundamental pun dah tak betul. Becoming like the guy just now. Fundamental. Alright, learn you Mongo. This one is to connect. Alright, to MongoDB. Alright, to connect to MongoDB using Node.js. So this one is Node.js plus learn MongoDB. MongoDB. Then Express, actually somewhere over here Express come in picture. Alright, so this is Express. So this is the routing, the fundamental. We talk about routing. Alright, input output. So you have the rack body, alright, and rack params. Alright, and then from here you have another more element. Then you have Mongoose. Alright, Mongoose is to connect to MongoDB using ORM Mongoose. Alright, and then from there you learn about MySQL. Alright, you learn about MySQL, and then you learn the basic query. So besok, no, not besok. Well, to be fair with the others as well. Alright, so the others kan masa dekat dalam as they are doing as they are doing SLTN. In SLTN we teach more MySQL. Alright, we teach more MySQL. So I use this as a reference. There's this video, right? There is this video from so I tahu you guys malas.
We can choose one of them. They're called candidate.
But what to do? Ni database. Aku dah lupa dah ni. No, because you guys also don't have the video. Alright, database vaccine. I think it's database vaccine. I can find database cost. Sekarang saya tak jumpa dah dengan tu. Database. I should have here. CMU. So I use this syllabus lah, right? I use the syllabus from this university. So actually I tak buat banyak pun, nampak macam wah ni kan. Actually I select lah, right? So that's the difference lah. Kalau if you come to lecture pilih lah kan. But at the moment I will select chapter 1 and chapter 2 for them.
If you manage a team, you should be using Monday.com.
This is advanced database. So we
Cool.
do for MySQL. If you want, alright, you can top up a little bit. You can top up a little bit with video from here. If you want, you can top up a little bit with video from. If you want to top up your knowledge, alright, refer here. Right. Anyway, we do the MySQL challenge and everything. Even like MySQL challenge tu pun, last week I did training dekat KL pun ramai orang yang dah kerja dia tak ni. Alright. And then from here we go to React.js. From here you go to React.js. Alright. We did 2 weeks, I think, 1 week of React.js. After that, we did cloud. Right, after that, we did cloud. Right, so cloud computing, AWS. So, I don't know why, for some reason, I think sebab dengan I tak ada, dengan I cuti semua, dengan I missing the class, normally I would do this, which is connection to Mongo connection to MySQL using Node.js. Right, normally this is the exercise that normally I would do. Right, so yang ini mungkin, so this is normally just now Faiz's question. Datanglah, right? So because macam tadi kan, kalau dia kata, kalau I tak boleh buat, dia nak on the spot ke dia nak balik, dia nak dari rumah?
Dia bagi masa masa berapa hari lah nak buat assignment
Kan, macam tu kan. I tak buat, I buat. Tapi yelah, you kena Google lah kan. Tapi apa buat, I tahu, I know how to do it on ni. I think I know how to do it on ni, which is using this one. Kan, so then I will just ni kan, I cakap actually ni saya baru kan, then only I ni kan, I know very well, I can do it in 10 minutes or in 1 hour lah, 10 minutes as usual lah kan, I can do it in 10 minutes. So let me spend 10 minutes. I will just send this in case I don't find it in PHP. So I know okay dapat. Then only you try to look for MySQL, but when you submit, alright, you say this is all I can do, alright, but actually since my fundamental is on JavaScript, so actually I know how to do it on JavaScript. But I might need more times, and I might need more times to for MySQL. But it's just a different way of. Kalau I okay kan, kalau I okay, jangan cakap tidur mana boleh aku tanya soalan kau jawab soalan lain kan. For me is okay, right? So sebab this is my opinion, but saya punya background pun ni kan, saya punya background pun saya cikgu kan, bukan cikgu. I trainer, so I've been doing training for years, right? Some of them is ni kan, some of them developers kan, some of them no, it has to be my stack. For me, what is important is the fundamentals, right? For fundamentals, okay, you know how to connect. Macam ni kan, you know how to connect to MySQL. So my fault, I tak sempat ajar ni, but now that I tell you, you need to know how to query, you need to know how to ni. Even this morning also, this morning actually for your information, Yuran dah start at SN, right? They are on their second month already. So even this morning, for example, when I say what will come on the exam, I only tell you macam this, for the rest of you will see on module 3. For the rest of you will see on module 3. I think Daniel also saw it already. Yang my magic slide, right? My magic slide. Okay, this one is for an app. Alright, this one is for app. The app nanti you akan tengok next module lah. For yang ni introduction as well for the others for next module. Okay, servant. Raj already see a little bit because hari tu Raj cari kerja kan, so I say masuklah kelas bagi aku, alright, so that you can get job easy faster. So this is fundamentals. So this one is regardless of language. Alright, regardless of language. This is for mobile app, and of course for backend also there are things. So kalau backend also there is a thing that you can do regardless of language. So for example, if we have to somebody might be tested on how to get actually a good book is this: build an API that you won't hate. I pernah cakap tak, did I mention about this book before? Pernah cakap tak? Pernah dengar tak I bercerita pasal buku ni?
Saya macam tak pernah je.
Sebab this is fundamental of building an API. So ini tak apa, kita baca lah, right? Kita baca je. So whatever it is, these are the fundamentals. When we talk about fundamentals, we don't talk about the code, we talk about the topic. Alright? Planning and creating endpoints. In your mind, what is it? In Node.js.
Connect to the router.
Get.slash how you create the URL. So that's what this is all about. Alright, database seeding I tak ajar. This is planning and creating endpoints. Input and output theory. In your mind, what is this?
Alamak. Input
Input,
post get
input,
what?
it's not, it's what you send and what you hantar, what you send and what you give it back. So normally we talk about the body and the params. When to use body, when to use params, how the body and params should be formatted. All right. Status code, error and messages. What is this?
Catch.
If you remember, or if you remember the slide that I gave, there is 400, 401, 403, 500 is all that, and how you send back the error message to the user. And then you have endpoint testing. This is how you test on Postman, right? This is how you create the relationship, right? One to many, many to many. This is how you do authentication, right? Yang ini semua sebenarnya adalah benda-benda yang tak cover, right? But pretty much we almost cover this, right? So kalau saya, alright, saya akan, if it was me, because ini different person, because I lain lah, right? Sebab I nak tahu buat benda ni lah. You need to know, you need to do all this. If you're coming to an API interview, you need to know all this, alright? The difference is I will not tell you which language. Alright, so itulah cara nak tahu. Ni Raj ada kan? Soalan interview pun Raj ada kan?
Tapi yes sir, dia tanya pasal dia kasih you satu assessment and then based on the assessment dia suruh fetch some API kan.
But did he specify which language?
Dia tak cakap, dia cakap whichever you comfortable with. So I pakai vanilla JavaScript je.
Kalau I akan buat macam Raj. So if it was me, I think if it was me, then I will do like that. So I'm not going to test which language, right? I'm not going to test which language. I just want you to know to be able to do that. That's the difference. Itu macam masing-masing orang ada dia. I takkan check sampai dia tahu tak pengen database guna PHP. I will not test that. I just know, alright, regardless of your language, you can do it. I want you to understand that. So itu yang soalan, itu yang I think Raj has a better interview question than Faiz lah, right? Based on this. No, I'm saying that based on it. I'm not penalizing on the language as long as you know how to do it. And tadi kan?
Actually sir, dia actually tanya untuk Vue.js punya framework, kalau boleh tak pull API dengan Vue.js. So I cakap dia untuk Vue.js punya front end. So I cakap belum tengah belajar lagi, tapi dengan vanilla JavaScript I think I can make it happen lah. Lepas tu dia cakap okay lah, tak apalah, mana yang comfortable. Okay, tak apa. But if it was me, I will not ask lah. Right? For it was me, dan sama juga You have to remember, people who interview you doesn't mean that they know all three languages. So that's might be the reason as well. So if you answer macam ni kan, I ask Ionic, you answer me Flutter kan. So I can read, but some people cannot read. So that's one of the things as well. So if it was me, I will not dictate that. And then as we are talking about SLDN as well, that's the whole thing about SLDN. Kalau you tengok balik kan, the syllabus SLDN syllabus just now, and then nanti Faiz, because I already shared you the book. For the others, if you're interested, you can always come to my office and then we can talk more. I can show you the books and everything. As we're talking about SLDN as well, SLDN through my spy, we don't dictate the language, right? We don't dictate. Oh, tak boleh. To build a website, you have to use Bootstrap. Tak boleh. If you see back, I think we go back. We can go up here. Dalam you will never find something. You will never find something that has language name. The closest that you get just now, tadi, if you remember the document, nanti you boleh check back the video. Okay, nanti I share. Tapi there's no use pun. Okay, Savan, you don't need to prepare. If you want to prepare for module 3, if you want to prepare for module 3, just make sure that your React.js
because if for the others, for Kesavan and for the others as well, you don't need the slide earlier, but if you want to prepare the module 3, just make sure that you finish the React.js part. All right. So because you will see back React.js on module 3, you will see back React on module 3. So you can do that. So and then just make sure your RAM 8 gig RAM 8 gig. Okay, kalau you tengok balik benda lah ni, so dia cakap kalau you tengok balik, if you go back here, ngam-ngam 8 gig of RAM. Itu pun cukup makan Kalau tak cukup if you can run Flutter last time, okay already. Because Raj already came to Flutter class so if you can run, it's okay already. So you know lah, you already did Flutter in the morning. Where was it? I pun dah saturated, dah tak berapa nampak dah. Okay, if you saw here just now, alright, you don't see, alright, you don't see any things that's related to language. Alright, you don't see anything that's related to language. The closest that you get is here, but there is example. Alright, so you can always when we ask questions, or when we ask these questions, macam tadi kan I cakap, alright, either I interview, either you take an exam. So the exam questions will never specify, will never say you have to answer it in Python, you have to answer in Java. They will never ask you that. Right, so even here also, mobile app also, let me see over, I think it's over here, right? Mobile app programming, it didn't specify any language. You can answer with any kind of language as well. So that's why I need you to know. Nanti kalau you buat ni, right, if you do Flutter, because in case you want to do PPT kan, sorry ni ini yang tadi, hardware features, hardware communication. This is the one that tadi I beritahu soalan bocor dekat ni. So hardware semua tahu ni. So if in case you want to take this exam, so remember it can be anything regardless language. Dia takkan tanya soalan, please answer in PHP, please answer in Flutter, please answer in React.js. You choose one that you are comfortable with and then you answer in that language. So that's how that's how SLDN works, that's how DKM works, and that's what I think all the other interviews should work lah, right? So dia tak payah, tak for me lah kan, alamak dia macam ni lah. If it was me, I will not dictate the language. But I think ni lah, I think you guys should share yang interview questions tu kan, you should share so that I can create a knowledge bank on the interview questions that people ask. Kalau ada, you just share with me. We can create a knowledge bank. Okay, so what? Oh my god, terlampau jauh. Tak apa. Last class we have to prepare for interview and everything. Tak apa. So now back to the exact questions. Soalan yang I akan tanya waktu interview is ni semua kena tahu. Right, this one you have to know. The questions before we get too far is, why do you need a static IP address if you're hosting a website? So that's the question just now, right? The question just now is because when you create a server, all right, and you want public to access to it, normally you will share the domain name, right? So when you create a website, right? Just now the website was created on 13 or something. If not, you have to tell people, come to my website, come visit 13.229.201.218. Yeah, you will say that to people. People will never remember your website. Right? People will never remember your website. So what you will do, right? You link it to a domain name. What is a domain name? We have seen last time. We have seen together as well. Domain name is, for example, www.anaktoyou.com.my. Right? I showed you Namecheap last time. I showed you Namecheap last time. So look at Namecheap, for example. Right? You can check your domain name. And what will happen, we will normally link the domain name to IP address. So normally, we will put, for example, www.anaktoyou.com.my. I will put it to 13.229.201.218. And then I can do for example, and you see there is this thing which is called subdomain. So subdomain, for example, I can put, for example, teachers, right? Because I have my teachers portal as well. So teachers.anaktoyou.com.my. This might be on different server. Right? This might be on different server. Right? This might be on 210 or something. All right. So this is actually, we have to link this to this. We have to link this to this. All right. So this is the first thing that we will. Right? So we will link www to here. We will link teachers to here. All right. But if the IP address change, then every time we change the IP address, then we have to change it back, or to the association. Every time the IP address change, then we have to change the association. So if we do not set, if we do not set an elastic IP here, every time there is a change on the IP address, due to restart of server, this association need to be redone, to be done again and again. All right. That is why you need an elastic IP. Right? Elastic IP. Right? IP that will not change. IP that will not change, and link it to the IP address. Right? So in case you need to understand this semua ni, dia menunjukkan, it will show you your knowledge on networking and everything. It will show you the knowledge. So this page is very important. This page I think is very important. Right? So you make sure that okay, I understand all this. All right. So then I can know the flow and everything. Any questions?
No, sir.
No.
Tak tahu nak tanya.
Tak tahu apa. Ni nampak kan, modul tu ni banyak benda tau. I will show you. I show you interface only. Right? I show you interface. And of course, every time I show you interface. Actually kan, I'm not sure if I share you link, you copy on, right? In case you penat, or in case you penat, why not you just go back, alright? You see back all the link, you just put it somewhere. Alright, these are all the reference, everything. My bad as well. But you see my time also sometimes. I can ask K7 questions. K7 has a question as well over the weekend, so we see. Okay. So let's see his question as well. All right, let's see his question. Oh, dia punya interview. Oh, dia rush punya interview question. So that's why normally kan, normally macam ni kan. Oh, but this one he specify bootstrap lah. He specify bootstrap. Kalau I tak specify lah if it were. But bootstrap now I think become bootstrap now become standard already. Alright. So you okay. But you see, library ID normally we put any. So normally that's what people will do. That's what people will do. Actually, Kesavan, I think you interview for Vue.js, and then you say you know Vue.js, but tu dia tanya Vue.js. But I think in the end you can use anything lah, right? If you say you say you want React.js, so I don't think they mind. So because I know sini mungkin dah tengok kan, Faiz mungkin nampak actually React.js dengan Vue.js is not many difference. Or if you have seen Laravel, you see actually Express and Laravel is not much difference. Once you know one, then you should be able to learn the others very easily. But the important is for you to learn one very deep dive, so that when you learn about the others, you know the this, right? The this is what we call the this. You know, okay, I need to find out how to do this on Vue.js. On Laravel. I need to find out how to do this on Laravel. I need to know how to do this on Laravel. You need to understand the topic, and the same thing as well. Normally I put here. Right? This is one that This is the one that I figure out myself lah, right? I figure out myself after 10 years of teaching. These are the things that fundamentals of ni. I think dalam masa 2-3 hari ni we will do as well on the Excel sheet or something. Okay, so this is ni kalau you ada apa-apa you just share here, then I can create a knowledge bank of the interview questions so that in the future student also know to help the previous student or to help the future student. Okay, Kesavan has some questions. How to choose the consideration in a stack based on this table below? Okay, normally, all right, normally you choose one group. All right, you choose one group. So normally the first thing that you know is you choose one group. All right. Jarang is rarely is there, but rarely people choose Oracle, and then he put here Express.js, and then he put here Python, and then he put here Apache or something. Right? Oracle, it's jarang people do that. Or rarely you see people do Linux, and then he do MongoDB, and then he do PHP, and then he do Vue.js. Right? Rarely lah, but I don't know. But that one is become that one is become more popular already. But rarely. In general, people normally will do in a group. But sometimes, not always of the time, sometimes you will see people mix it up. But normally people mix up also a little bit. Macam ni kan, I cakap kan, I terbagi satu example yang ni, Linux, MySQL, NGX, PHP, Vue.js biasa. Right? But if you do Linux, MySQL, Linux, and then ada Oracle, and then ada Spring, and then PHP, rarely you will see that. Right? So normally, let's imagine we have to select from here, or here. Alright.
Sir, if I mix up, what will happen, sir?
Kalau mix up, sometimes okay. If it's okay, depends on the scale of the project.
For example, it's a restaurant system or restaurant website, something like that, like post.
If it's one restaurant, then you stick to this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you're talking about, even you're talking about restaurants in Malaysia, right? If you're talking about, I don't know lah, KFC lah, right? KFC kan, KFC.
Yeah.
Or Domino's, right? If talking about Domino's, I'm sure that Domino's also it will either be this or this or this. All right, rarely it mix it up. All right, rarely. Right? I know it because I say this because AirAsia, well, you know how big is AirAsia. AirAsia also still stick to one. Right? Even like Astro also, Astro I know lah, dia campur sikit lah, but it stick to this. Alright, so you know to that scale, Malaysia scale lah. But if you're talking about worldwide scale, so worldwide scale is Facebook, Airbnb, everything. That's where normally you see things start to mix up. Alright, so but as long as you still stay in Malaysia, then is okay. Alright, and then if you want to learn about all that, tapi ini I tak ajar you all lah, right? I ajar ni. There is this one, I give you reference. You in module 2 banyak reference because we only teach the fundamentals. There is this guy who I really I tengok dia lah, bagus lah budak ni aja, bagus lah. But it's a little bit high level this guy, alright, this guy Guraf Sen, that's why dia memang cerita lah, if you want to ni, macam Faiz dengan Walid already ni boleh lah nanti pindahkan. So this guy, alright, you can already have a look lah, because I think you guys already have nothing to do after this. So you can start to see like this guy has a very good topic about ni. Okay, so let's go back to the questions. Alright, so sorry, I pun dah pening kepala. So this guy has a good topic about missing up. Right, so ini satu ya. So when you do this, the first thing you need to look, normally, most of the time, it depends on the database. Alright? So there is a reason because either you start a new project or you are taking from a previous project. The first thing that people will look is the database. Alright, because that's where you store the data. So it depends, where do you want to store the data? Do you want to store it inside MySQL, or do you want to store it inside MongoDB, or do you want to store it inside Oracle? Kita eliminate Oracle siap-siap. Oracle, if you have money, right? If it actually is more stable, it has been there for a while. But downside is you have to have money, right? It's Java technology and everything. So if you're talking about something that you have money and then it's Oracle lah. So it's between MySQL and MongoDB. If you have big data, if it's about statistic, tadi ada kan soal about statistic and everything, it's about statistic, is a word. You need to understand when do you use MongoDB, when you to use MySQL. Alright, if you go back to the slide, ada tahu satu slide talking about when to use MySQL, when to use MongoDB. What is the difference? So you need to understand that. So there is one thing, one scenario where you will use MySQL. There is one scenario where you will use MongoDB. Okay, so you have to understand that part first. So back to your questions, siapa yang ingat, based on his question, if you want to do web-based restaurant system, should he use MySQL or should he use MongoDB?
Kalau je tak kompleks sangat, MongoDB pun dah kira okey lah.
Betul? Ada, okay.
Ease of use.
Ha?
Ease of use lah.
Ease of use ya?
Tak tahu lah, saya punya opinion lah.
Tapi jawapan yang betul, jawapan yang betul ialah normally ramai yang ingat terbalik, tapi sebenarnya tak. Sebenarnya dalam mata manusia, you have to remember, in people's head, in people's mind, MySQL is easier. Right, so dalam logik you all rasa MongoDB is easier. Tapi dalam logik manusia, in all the programmers, MySQL is easier. Alright, because it's a table. Right, you are only managing the table. Kan, masuk table kan? In MongoDB, you are actually managing the JSON. Not everyone can read JSON. It's familiar for you because you start with JavaScript. But in people's mind, it's a table. It's difficult to read. Right? So you kena terbalikkan you punya logic tu. Mana lagi senang? Sebenarnya MySQL in people's mind is more easier. It's easier. Right?
Oh je kena ikut customer lah.
Dia cakap. So kalau dalam hari ini, sebenarnya the answer should be MySQL. The answer should be MySQL. Why? I think in one of the slide, if I think, nanti kena cari balik ya. In one of the slide, I mentioned one word, which is transaction. Transaction means bayaran. Benda-benda yang berkaitan dengan order, bayaran. If you have transaction, normally it's going to be MySQL. So that's actually, it's not the reason why it's easier or anything. If it's related to transaction, normally MySQL is more stable. So that's the reason. So itu memang confirm. So you have to use MySQL, you have to use Apache. Once you have MySQL, then you have to use normally people will use this. Alright. But again, you can also use Express.js, Node.js, React.js and MySQL based on what I have teach just now lah, based on the thing. I lupa lah nak ajar you ni. Based on based on tadi tu, right? But you have to know this. So to answer the first So to answer, the first thing that you need to check is the database. So database will be very clear. For me, it's very clear. Once I know it's MySQL. The reason why it's MySQL is because of the transaction, because of the word transaction. So once you do MySQL, it could be either this or it could be this plus MySQL. Right? If you want to do this plus MySQL, then you're gonna do. You are going to do the exercise that I shared just now. This one correct. So let's example, you have different system integration, time screen and attendance for Office. Two different files can use Node.js. Yes, so you have two Node.js project. That two Node.js project will connect to the same database. All right, so that two project is going to be connected to the same. You just make sure that everything will connect to the same database. So that's.
So, sir, for the second question, I need to create a new modules for Node.js to connect the two systems.
To connect, you don't need. You have one project. It's up to you. You can have one project, but it's going to be one big project, or you can have two projects. But the important part is both. If you have two projects, both is connecting to the same database. So that's the thing. Because thumb in is for to record kan.
Yep.
And ni our wallet project is this. So if you want to know, if you need, you kena PM Walid lah. Walid buat ni.
Okay, sure.
So once is to plug in, one is to get the data.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Jadi semua nanti saya kena masuk ni. Okay. So that's ni user. Okay lah. Tapi itulah, is ni cuma I think inilah, but if this guy nothing bad about this guy, it's just that it's another way. But if he is very specified PHP and everything. If it was me, I will not impose on the language. Okay. We talked a lot today because in the end of this, it's the last class. Let's see if I can show you something. So that one done, elastic IP. Any other questions? Any other questions? So let's rather than the dah ada bagus lah. See. Okay, now ni. Now I ni. Terharu tengok ada orang buat macam ni. Okay, ada dia. Ni. Okay, do you have any other questions? Kita boleh buat ni. Kita boleh buat project next. Now you give me an idea what to do. What will be good is you do this. I think challenge for Raj is to make it inside a database. I think you're doing it every time you have to edit the page, right? So what your challenge is to make it as a database. So every time you just ni and then you. All right, any other questions before we move on to something else? Let's open the questions in case. Actually ini pun Daniel ke Okay, kalau tak ada, I don't think you need to do it, but let's see. All right, let's see. Let me do it, but and if you're interested, you can do it by yourself. I don't think you need to do it with me sebab kita try we try to kejar masa sikit. No lah, I want to show as much as possible before you guys leave. 10 minutes, alright. Based on this guy, alright. Based on this, it's 10 minutes. So let's see if it's 10 minutes or not. And then some more, if I will do it now as well. Because if you guys want to do it, where do I change your permission? What can you do? What you cannot do? Where should I go? The answer is here. Because I'm going to use light sail now. Because previously when I give you permission, I don't give permission to light sail. I only give you to RDS and EC2. So my question now is, I want to give you permission to light sail. Which of the following menu I should press? This is AWS question. This is exam questions. Certification takut terperanjat. No, it's certification.
IAM
IAM, Identity Access Management, right? Identity Access Management. So I'm going to look for my user group. All right. So just now I created this student permission. Right. I created this student permission to you. Student permission I give to these people. All right. Joel, Walid, Diana, Raj, Kesavan, Faiz, Daniel. This is the thing that this is the thing that I give. Now I'm adding light sail. I'm adding light sail. So I want to add a new permission. That permission is light sail. Faiz, tomorrow you remind me to ask help to give you guys S3 So in case nak ni kan, you just remind me tomorrow untuk tanya, because I don't remember how to do it, but the others might know. Filter by light sail. Kenapa tak ada light sail? Light sail. Oh, it might be the same as tak apa, nanti if you guys it might be the same as AWS light sail permission. Polisi tak faham. Okay, alright. So this one I will just create student permission, add permission. Create. Ini semua jangan keluar Ini semua kalau you ini semua kalau you ni dia ni lah. Alright. So copy paste and then press review policy and then create policy. Light sail full access. Light sail. Okay. Then press create policy. And I will. Okay. Custom. Alright. So this one light sail. So let's go through a little bit light sail. Alright. So that you know that EC2 is not your only option. Alright. EC2 is not your only option. A Amazon light sail is the easiest way to get started with AWS. Alright, it offers virtual storage servers, storage database, and networking, plus a cost-effective monthly plan. So basically, is a smaller EC2, right? So if you need a WordPress website, actually you don't need EC2. If you need an application server, right, you can use EC2. But WordPress normally, this one light sail also is sufficient. All right. So this tutorial shows you how to launch and configure a WordPress instance on light sail. So you're going to do the same thing, but it's going to use light sail. It includes steps to connect to your instance using SSH, sign it to your WordPress website, create a static IP. This one we already done. Create a static IP, we already done, and attach it to your instance. Create a DNS zone and map it to an instance. So this one we can't do it. All right. This one we can't do it because I need to have anak2u.com.my to link it to my website. But in case you're interested, in case you want to buy, you can go on Namecheap and everything. You can buy and then you can try it. So when you are done, you will have the fundamental to get your WordPress website up and running in WordPress. All right. So this is available for free trial. So you go to Light Sail Console. All right. You go to Light Sail Console. I already give you permission. After this, if you want to try pun boleh. I'm going to create a new instance. All right, I'm going to create a new instance. It's going to be ni, and then dia dah ada dah siap-siap. All right, dia dah ada dah. And then it's also the questions that ni tanya hari tu. I want to do Magento. I want to do lamp. All right, it's already jumlah Magento. You can also select this as well. Actually, before this also, I want to show the ni as well lah. Tadi kan. So let's jump. I'm sorry, jumping here and there. Sebab I nak tunjuk banyak benda. If possible, kita gunakan sebanyak mungkin hari ni, and so that you can use it minggu ni. So, kalau you rasa if you want to use it, you use it. Just now when I was talking about AMI, right? When I was talking about AMI, macam to answer Kesavan question, he want to start a Magento project kan. Over here also can. So just look for Magento. And then hari tu I tunjuk, right? But the step is the same, right? The step is the same as when Faiz was creating his AMI just now. Just check the price, press continue. Alright, and then set the storage. It is minimum. I think ini tak boleh lah, ni jadi sikit lah. Alright, minimum kena medium lah. Minimum kena medium, mahal sikit. Alright, and then tak boleh. And then select this one. This one you're familiar with already. Add storage. Alright, minimum kena 10 lah. And then press add text. Alright, security group is already set up for you. And then review and launch. And then bring it to the alright. And then just make sure that you select the right keypad. Alright, so the step is the same as when Faiz was creating his name, but you just select from launch from AMI just now. So here also the same. So I can select, for example, I want WordPress, alright, Vietnamese and everything. So then once I do that, alright, choose the availability zone. Okay, this one is okay. I want it to be in Singapore. Choose your instant image, Linux, Unix, and then WordPress. Choose an instant plan. All right, then here you're going to choose how big it is. So depends. Small website, this, but I think this one, no, I think ours we do this, and then this is much cheaper than EC2 just now. If you notice, it is much cheaper than EC2. Dia suruh buat apa ni? 3.5. Okay, but I think kalau you do for production, you can do 5. Alright, you can take 1 GB lah, 1 GB. Alright, so this is the ni. Kalau you rasa website you slow, you tukar. Right, if you think the website is slow, then you change to 5 GB or something. Enter name on WordPress demo. Alright, WordPress demo, and then corrupt, and then create instance. So this is like seal. Much easier, not much easier. But remember, the reason why I asked you to do just now is not only for ni. I also want you to learn about about Linux, right? That's the reason. I know about all this, but the reason why I teach just now is about Linux, alright? Because if you're building a PHP application, that's how you do it. You put inside var, www and everything. So that's the reason why I teach you. Jangan cakap ni. The reason is because of the Linux and everything. Alright, so once it is done, connect to your SSH. Either I do like this, or either I do something like this, or actually there's a console. This is my IP address. This is my IP address. I need to turn it on or not? Sebenarnya I jarang buat benda ni. Yang buat like this is normally my colleague. Let me check. Alright, so this one, right, on the instance, go to SSH Quick Connect. So go to SSH Quick Connect. Ini tak payah pakai putih-putih don't need an external, create instant. If this is just try again 1 or 2 minutes. Alright, dia sebab dia baru ni. Once it is connected, alright, you will make note of the password you use it to sign in or your WordPress. Oh, sebab I kena ni Okay. Senang je. No, because I say it because I never do this. Normally I ask my other staff to do. I ask my other staff to do it. I pun tak pernah lah buat benda ni. Not it fail. Alright, so sebab dia baru buka. So yang ini when you do it kan, MySQL and everything is already there. MySQL and everything is already there. Okay, one more time. Tengok, jadi ke tak? Okay, ni baru. Okay, so once I have that, right? Once I have that, I need to get the password. Right? I need to. I think this one also run already. Should be run. Dia bukan macam tadi. Tadi I have to do sudo service HTTP, but the reason is because I want to teach you Apache as well. So it will ask you to do this. CAT is what? Siapa ingat? What is CAT? Cat. What is cat? Nah, so you see this thing is important. Right? Cat is show me what is available in this file. That's what cat is. Show me what is available in this file. So in this file, you have this. So it's written there, right? This is the password of your WordPress website. Then I open the browser. I do /wp admin. All right. I have the password just now. And then the username is user, right? The username is user. The password is the one that I have just now. All right. Then you will have the same thing, right? I have the same thing as whatever that you did last week, right? So that's how you get it from Lightsail. And then if you need a static IP, right? If you need a static IP, this one also we discussed about static IP just now. So on the instance tab, you choose the running which is this one, kena tekan, and then you look for the IP address. IP address is where networking tab. So under networking, you look for here, all right, you request for a static IP. So you have to click create a static IP. All right, so you are creating for Singapore static IP. You can manage up to 5. So 5 will be given for free. And this is my static IP. I attach it to here. All right, so now if I see 122, I will see the same website. All right, so you have to understand the concept of static IP. I will just delete it. Right. So once you have static IP, all right, the next thing is to link it to a DNS. All right, to link it to a DNS. So normally you will put your DNS lah, anak2u.com.my. All right, make note of everything, and then this one you have to copy this, and then you have to add this inside your DNS management. All right, so this one actually, if you want, you can buy a DNS and then buzz me lah. Kalau saya tak sibuk, I can share it with you. If not, I will ask Faiz to teach you. Faiz to teach you. Faiz.
Saya AWS ni weak lah, sir.
Ya, ialah tak practice aku tengok ni, nampak okay, you see I see who practice, who don't practice, because there is a last usage. Okay, so that's Lightsail. All right, so if somebody asks you what is Lightsail, what will you answer? Kalau your interview questions or somebody asks you what is Lightsail, what will you answer?
Lighter version of EC2.
Correct, it's a lighter version of EC2. All right, so it's a lighter version of EC2. That's it's a lighter version of EC2. But if you want to elaborate, you can say, all right, that from where I can deploy simple application, all right, like LAMP, Node.js, Mint, or WordPress or Magento, right? So if you want, for example, it's a lighter version of EC2 where I can pre-launch OS, all right, or some application, for example, WordPress, Minstack or Magento, etc. Right, so that's Lightsail. Done. Betul-betul 10 minutes. I think I did it on 10 minutes. Last. Oh mak, ni 30 minit mampus. Let's see. Okay. 30 minutes. I think I can do it fast. Tak apa, lagi pun kalau kita habis pukul 1:30 kan. Tak apa, we try. You guys don't know anything, but if you want to do, you can just re-watch back the video and do it during your this week lah if you want. All right, I want the idea now, because last week, why do you need to do this? The important part is for me to explain it, why we need to do it, to do this first. If you remember, all right, if you remember last week, right, if you remember last week when we what I always talk about load balance. So the thing is load balance, right? You have load balance, and then you have EC2, all right, you have EC2 here, and you have EC2 here. So what load balance will do is you come here, you go here, and then you come here, you go here, 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 you come here, you go here. All right. So there, and then that's round robin lah. That's round robin. Let's say that I have this function which is called upload picture. Right. I have this function which is called upload picture. And then I have get profile, all right. So I go here, and then I will upload my picture. So what will I do is I save inside this EC2, all right, and I go back, and then I open back my profile. So I come here, all right. If I'm here, then I will get my picture. But if not, if I don't go here, I go here, all right. If I don't go here, I go here, then my picture is gone already, right? Because my picture is only stored here and not here. Right? So that's the reason normally people don't put files, people don't put pictures, people don't put videos, people don't put PDF here. People will put it elsewhere. People will put it, for example, in S3, right? What is an S3? When I introduce it to you, S3 is just like Google Drive, right? It's just like WordPress. Sorry, it's just like Google Drive. It's just like Dropbox. All right, is object storage. All right. The first reason why you do it is because because of electricity, because of, all right, sometimes the image is here, sometimes the server come here, all right, it's pointing the same image, sometimes it come here, it points the same image. Number two, why you use number one is because of why need to you do that? Why need to do this? All right, number one is we might save due to load balance. All right, user might store picture in different server. Right? So that's number one. All right, so that's number one. Number two is because of the cost. All right, because saving in S3 is cheaper than having a bigger storage. All right, so that's why that's the second reason why we use S3 instead of having a bigger EC2. All right, so that's the reason. That's the reason. All right, because actually there is a way tau. I can copy whatever that I have here, I copy here. Whatever that I have here, I copy here. It's possible. All right, but then it means that you need to have a bigger EC2. But saving in S3 is more cheaper than having a bigger storage, right? So that's the reason normally we offload it, all right? If we offload all the image, last week we tried, if you remember, the last thing that I do is do chmod something so that we will save it inside the picture, we save it inside EC2. But normally, all right, normally we don't do it there. Normally we will do it inside S3. And this exercise shows how you can offload. All right, you can offload your images so that it will not be stored in Lightsail anymore. It's going to be stored in S3. Right, I will quickly do it. Hopefully I tak salah. So inside storage, so what I'm going to do, right, go to storage, and then inside storage, I will create a bucket. On S3. All right, I will do this. All right, I will use this plan, for example, so it's much cheaper. And then I will create a bucket. I hope I have permission. Okay. So I think that's done. All right, that's done. So let me go back to my storage just now. All right, so now I have a bucket. So once I have it, choose the permission. I want it to be public and read only, because now I put it on private. Private means nobody can access it. So since this is a picture, all right, I want everyone to be able to access it. This is almost similar to apa yang 000 tu, alright, but this is the notation of bucket. Where we talk, dia macam your drive lah, your drive kan, right click. I want to right click, everyone with the link should be able to view it. Alright, this is the second step. Right click, everyone with the link should be able to do it. So this one, I will click it under permission. Click it under permission. I will change the permission. All objects are public and read only, and then press save. All right, so this is the so this is the thing. Once I do it, attach instance. I have to attach instance. I pun sambil-sambil buat tapi I hope I ni. Scroll to the resource access. Scroll to the resource access. I will say that WordPress demo will use my bucket. So WordPress demo will use this bucket. That's it. All right. Once this is done, I think it's already linked already. I will have to go back to WordPress just now. So the URL of my WordPress is 52.211.112. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The one that I'm worried is, shit, I forget the password. It's still there? No, it's no longer there. Kita nak cepat tapi lagi lambat jadinya. Let me check back the thing. Up. Okay. I know I should copy it just now. That's why I cakap bismillah sebab cakap Allah aku lupa. Oh, ni it's still there, sorry. Okay, luckily it's still there. So user, right? User. And then here, all right, remember me. Okay. I'm not sure if you discovered WordPress or not. Alright, I'm not sure if you discovered WordPress or not. How WordPress works? You have a lot of things. I ajar module 2 ni, I ajar fundamentals je. But WordPress, just now last week I was talking about the themes. Alright, I was talking about the themes. So if you discover themes, macam-macam themes ada, and then you can have beautiful website. Another thing is plugin. Alright, so WordPress has a lot of plugins as well. Alright, so in WordPress, two important things is themes and plugin. And it has a lot of plugins. All right. So for example, the most popular one is WooCommerce. Right, WooCommerce. WooCommerce itself is a topic, or it's a big topic. So WooCommerce is to handle e-commerce. If you want to create a WordPress website that handle e-commerce, then you use WooCommerce. Let's say that your WordPress use e-commerce and need to be linked to Stripe. Then you look for Stripe. Mesti ada punya. Alright, then or inside your project you will have WooCommerce Stripe. Let's say that you have Bill Please. I think I might be there, but I think it's there. Alright, so then you use Bill Please for WooCommerce. So you select all the plugin. You select the theme first. Then you select the plugin. You plug it in, and then you build an application for it. So that's why it's very interesting to do WordPress because but it's another path. To learn about this, banyak lagi benda nak kena belajar. That's why this is for if you want to build using whatever that's there. But whatever that we learn mean we start from zero. So if you want, boleh tengok tutorial ni. Senang apa buat Molpay. You want to create e-commerce with Molpay. Oh, Molpay tak ada lah. Sorry, Molpay tak ada. Right, so Bill Please sahaja ada. Right. So the plugin that we install here is called WP Load, alright, WP Offload, WP Offload Media Lite, WP Offload Media Lite, alright, because what it will do is it will copy all the images and copy it and bring it to S3, right? So that's what the thing is all about. It's going to create, it means that it will help me to create this kind of website, right? This kind of architecture. This is the same thing. If you're doing using EC2, right? It's the same thing. But the difference is you have to go S3 individually. You have to go S3, you have to create a bucket there, and you have to link it and everything. So but like still make it slightly easier. I will just install it. All right, I install it. This is how you install a plugin in WordPress. All right. Once I install the plugin, I will activate it. All right. Once I activate it, all right, I will just follow. Normally, after this, you have to read documentation. After you have to read documentation. So this one, they said that go to settings, go to offload media light, and then I will select AWS S3. My server is on. I just follow. Is on. This one is because this one is because we use light sail, so that's why we can do this. If not, you have to get this configuration. And then once I have that, I will look. Press next. I will look for the bucket just now. All right, so I have this bucket OHGJU, save selected bucket. And then what it say in the offload, make sure to force HTTPS is on. All right, so this one, it means that force must be able because I will use HTTPS by default to serve media. The remove file setting, remove file setting from server. All right, once a file has been copied, remove it from the local server. So that our light sail will not be full. Right, biasanya dia akan masuk dalam public, and it will copy to S3 bucket. And then you can test the connection. So press media, add new images, upload a file here. So for example, I upload a screenshot here. This is the screenshot. This morning masa meter ni, I was like, hey, I'm looking for a hotel. And then once I've done that, all right, and then I upload it, I go to my library. All right, it's there. The URL, it's there. How do I check it? I check that the URL. So I go back to my S3. I go back to my S3. So I have here, this is my image. I go back to my light sail just now. So that's I can do it under 30 minutes, 20 minutes lah. Kita buat 20 minit. I go back to my storage. Inside my storage, I go to my bucket. Inside my bucket, I have my objects. Inside my object, I have my WP contents. I have my upload, and then the picture should be there. It means that whatever image that I did just now has been copied to S3. Right. Last thing. How what I'm going to show. I'm going to my console. Right. I'm going to my console. These are all my S3. You don't have access to my S3 because I have a lot of things. If you want, you PM me and I check. Right. So this is how it looks like. Can I find my this now? Can I find my thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think it was ke ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, so no. But this is how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. I thought it was here, but I think it was stored somewhere else. But this is how it looks like if it's S3 that is connected to EC2. Okay, that's about it. Any questions? Hujung-hujung ni saya cepat sikit sebab sebenarnya I want to show more things. But again, if you want, you can try to do it slowly, and then try to understand it. Any questions for the last class? Since I no longer need it, I will remove it.
Sir, nak tanya pasal kalau nak ada ETL developer tu dia macam web developer juga ke sir, ETL?
I thought ETL is data related to data. So I don't consider it as a developer. But yeah, it's related to data science and everything. Okay. So for me, it's under data science.
It's not, I mean, dia tak merangkumi database macam SQL di backend, kan?
It's still part of that, but it's more on managing the data. So ETL developer is because if you're talking about data science semua kan, data science dia ada banyak proses. Alright, if you're talking about data science kan, so it's something like this, you have obtain, scrub, explore, model, interpret. So ETL is more here. You have data source everywhere, and then you want to make it, you scrub it to make it explorable. So that's what I. Tapi tak ada pula data camp. ETL, extract, transform, load, extract, transform, load. This role exists before data science exists, but for me it's actually a data scientist. For me it's a data scientist because they need to transform the data. It's more on, kalau data pipeline is here lah, somewhere over here.
Maknanya yang ETL developer ni more higher skill than normal macam front-end developer ke atau?
No, it's a different thing because it's normally you are front. If you're talking about front end, then front end is different path. This is more on database. So for example, kan tadi I bagi link kan, I bagi link yang tu tadi kan. Actually yang you ajar tu 2 chapter je, alright. Just now kan giving you this link, alright. If I'm giving you this link, right? You only learn like 2 chapters, right? You only like learn like 2 chapters. So I would say that ETL is the advanced chapter of database engineer. So tadi kan kalau tadi tengok tadi one of the dia kena tahu banyak pasal database and data. Dah lah, tengok semua benda-benda ni semua nanti tu HTML, you will not see HTML, CSS, everything is about data and database. So it's not an advance of front-end developer, because the advance of front-end developer is actually backend or full stack. It's more an advance of a database engineer. So in order, whatever that you learn, which is regarding database, is only 2 chapter, right? If you really want to learn about database, you can learn from this guy as well. But then the advance of that is, then when you do that, then you can because we are only learning like MySQL. Then you say, oh, ada PL, SQL, Oracle. It's more on database part. Then is big data and everything.
Alamak, so actually I dapat role ni ETL developer, then I tendang I dapatkan front end developer.
Oh, tapi itulah, but you need to focus on database. So banyak database lah. But masa interview, what did they ask?
Dia tak banyak. Dia tanya pasal you ada kerja SQL sebelum ni, tak ada knowledge SQL, ada knowledge database ke, and then dia kasih
lah, because apa so maybe it's using a tools, but I know that there are ETL tools as well, so maybe the job is using a tools, but actually it's a different path. It's nothing to do with HTML, CSS, JavaScript anymore. But the skills needed is for in database.